Hello and welcome to Fragmaster's Fox Friday, the final round of the season and a big milestone for the Fragmaster team, the 750th ever Fox Friday special, making it, of course, the longest running weekly championship that has ever existed in Live for Speed as far as we are aware. On the day that an enormous set of screenshots have been released of a newly profiled Kyoto ring environment in Live for Speed. Michael Málek, that's exciting.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, it's a really big day for everyone here involved in this community, and I'm very sure we will have a lot of opportunities to talk about everything that happens lately.
Yeah, I'm sure someone's going to post a link to the big update in the chat while we talk about all of the stuff that's coming up tonight, because this is a mammoth broadcast tonight. We've got quite a lot of stuff to talk about. We've got, well, look at it. There's a lot of stuff happening. We've got a 10-minute open qualifying session, followed by a 10-lap sprint qualifying race, then 20 laps of further racing, and a 45-lap epic feature race. The final two races will have mandatory pit stops, and the final race will have a top 15 reverse grid thrown in. So, Michael, absolute carnage tonight by the looks of it for the 750th event.
Yeah, a lot of stuff ahead of us, but as I always say, special occasions requires a special broadcast, and this is the case. So I'm looking forward to an amazing evening.
Yeah, the Fox gets its final outing for 2024, the 2-litre inline-4 mid-engine rear-wheel drive car, which is by far and away the most popular car in the S2 package in Live for Speed. Absolutely loved by everybody, and that's why we get bumper grids for the Fox Friday Championship. And of course, thanks to the Fragmasters team for having us along this season, we've been able to broadcast 12 rounds, including tonight's, so one round a month. And we bring you the finale, where things are shaping up to be quite interesting. Let's take a look at the standings. It's TJ who has locked up the championship in P1 ahead of Rex and Roger Chen, and it looks pretty set, the top three, Michael, in the Drivers' Championship standings.
It's clearly visible who is, I would say, frequent attendant of the Fragmaster Fox Friday. And the more you attend, the more points you score. And it's clear that TJ, Rex, and Chen are there every week. And I think it's not very different tonight. I see TJ already securing some very fast times.
Yeah, I mean, TJ is champion again in Fox Friday, and well, it shouldn't really come as much surprise. He's been absolutely on form all year, but Rex up there in P2, that is secure. And Roger Chen, a good result with Gabba and Zesty rounding out your top five. Let's also take a look at the team's championship standings, which have been wrapped up as well. It's TJ and Doctor at the top there, with Rex and Onifus for Fragmaster locking in P2 and the Sidus team in P3. So both championships pretty much locked out, but that doesn't mean we're not going to have fun this evening. We've got plenty of exciting racing coming up, starting with two sort of qualifying sessions that we have to look forward to. We've got 10 minutes of open qualifying, which is very different to what we usually have, Michael.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a very special evening, and we will start with 10 minutes open qualifying, and I think it will be TJ who will be on the pole position for that one.
Well, we will have to wait and see what happens, because we will go to the track in a minute's time to see what happens. We definitely see from practice that TJ is setting the pace. Rex in P2 and Roger Chen P3. So the way that they line up in the championship, but we've got a couple of unknowns being thrown in as well, Michael. We've got the likes of Isaac Price here this evening, who we know is quick.
Absolutely. In fact, Isaac is one of the fastest guys who ever raced in Live for Speed, in my opinion. So it's really great to have him on the grid tonight.
Absolutely. And speaking of the grid, we should head to the track and enjoy the 10-minute open qualifying session. We normally get one-shot qualifying, but tonight it's completely different. So everybody leaving the pits, Michael, for this this sort of open qualifying format, which we never get. We never get to see the drivers all together in a qualifying session. So let's do it.
Yeah, there's no time to be wasted, and literally everyone is out on the track and trying to get the fast lap as soon as possible. Just in case they make the mistake, they have another opportunity in those 10 minutes. So there's no reason to stay in the pits early.
Yeah, everyone needs to be out because you've got to set some clean lap times, and it's not going to be hard when there are so many drivers taking place in this historic Fox Friday event. We've got Yoni Katila also joining us. Here he is, WCL True Alpha. Other notable names include Isaac Price, who's somewhere in that camera shot in the yellow car there. But a swarm of long-time Fragmasters members too. We've got Al Payson here on the camera. We've got Pantheo, who is almost in the final couple of corners, being overtaken there into the final chicane. Bin UK is here. So too is Onifus and Rex. Onifus lining up the first lap. Let's see how he gets on, Michael.
Let's follow the racetrack with him so we can see what circuit we are racing on tonight as he crosses the start-finish line now. And it's a long run into the turn number 1, as most of the first sector is essentially the oval.
Yeah, it's a long run to turn 2.
Yeah, first heavy braking zone to the left, around the tires and around a very tricky curb to get around, and it's already into the first sector under this Chromo bridge. Another braking zone to the right. Essentially everyone will drive this turn at third gear, and now full throttle towards the U-turn. You can see the 750 tower on the right side there. That's a temporary structure put in by Fragmaster. It's not part of the usual Kyoto. And so far, Onifus is doing a very good job. Only one heavy braking zone left for him, so we'll see how well he does. He goes very wide. Looks the corner very perfectly. I think it will be a very strong provisional time. Now only he has to hold the good line around this final oval turn, hugging that inside line as much as he can without clipping that wall on the inside, which is easier said than done. And as he crosses the finish line now, he should be on the provisional pole position with 1 minute 39 seconds, 0.43.
Yeah, we've got a few more drivers coming across start finish. Dark pips Onifus, so too does Roger Chen. So a few of faster times coming in, and drivers immediately jumping to the pit lane. Of course, they're allowed to tele-pit as they please. It's an open session, anything goes. So the drivers electing for one out lap, one hot lap, then jumping straight to the pit lane to get fresh tyres. But Roger Chen, P1 currently with a 1:38.95, setting the benchmark time. Gabba there goes P2 by 0.03 of a second. He is behind Roger Chen. But TJ doesn't look like he's going to get it easy here, Michael. P4 currently.
Yeah, he must be suffering from traffic on this track, as we have about 40 cars, I guess, trying to settle up altogether, so it's very difficult to find some clean space to set a good lap. And I think TJ will definitely utilize a few more attempts before the qualifying timer runs out.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, this is the 750th ever Fragmasters Fox Friday at Kyoto Ring National Reversed in Live for Speed. And we have a 10-minute open qualifying session followed by 3 races, the first of which is going to be a 10-minute sprint qualifying format race with, 10-lap sprint qualifying format. Then we get a 20-lap race 2 and a 45-minute feature race. So a lot of racing this evening. While you're watching the qualifying session, head over to the LFS website and check out the progress report for Kyoto, the very environment you are watching right now, because it is due an enormous facelift. Eric has been extremely busy this year, Michael.
Yeah, definitely. I was very excited seeing all those progress report pictures, because the new Kyoto ring will be absolutely unrecognizable to what we are watching tonight.
Yeah, we'll try to bring pictures of those to the stream. I only found out about the update minutes before going live on air. It was announced about 3 hours ago. But we'll try to get some photos on the broadcast for you as we follow the drivers round. TJ now onto his flying lap, his second flying lap of the session, straight into P2, turn 2. Sorry, I'll get right eventually here. Now down into turn 4, and underneath the Chromo Bridge to set his first sector time, and this will give us an indication of what he's doing on this lap. Still time to find. Isaac Price has been out and has come around to take P2 by setting exactly the same lap time that Roger Chen managed, but it happened to be at a later stage, so therefore he drops behind. TJ wasn't happy with the first sector of his lap and has decided to telepit. He wasn't confident, Michael, that he could improve enough in the final 2 sectors of the lap.
Yeah, so far he has secured the 5th place provisionally, but he has only time for 1, maybe 2 flying laps if they are one after another, so he's running out of opportunities to get a good lap. And the new provisional pole position time set by World Class Lions through Alpha, aka Yone Catella, is the first. Oh, sorry, not the first, but it's 1 minute 38.83, so more than 1/10 of a second faster than Roger Chen previously.
Yeah, Dark sets another time. It's not good enough to improve. Gabba goes faster. Gabba goes to P2 overall, and he leaves the pits to start another lap. Roger pushed down to P3, but let's see if he can do anything about that. TJ's been shuffled all the way down to 7th while he tries to find a lap. I think, yeah, TJ's not going to get time to do another lap, so this is it. He has to make sure he gets a clean out lap here. And he's being caught by somebody there as they go through this final complex. He can't risk being overtaken on the oval here, because this is his last chance, Michael, for the session.
Well, pretty much it is, yeah, because it's 1 minute 40, and that's about how quickly he can make a lap. So this will be his very last opportunity, unless he sets some very impressive world records time. So let's see how well it goes for him. So far he's on the 7, which is a very upsetting result for him.
Well, here he comes through oval turn 1. And all eyes on the 2024 Fox Friday champion as he makes his way down to the first corner that isn't flat out with a trail of cars behind him. Fortunately, he managed to get some clean air, and let's see if he's happy with that run. It looked strong through there. That was really, really nice. And let's see as he comes through sector 1. In fact, he can't give up. He has to keep going. This is his only chance to improve on his lap. But as it stands, it's Yoni Catilla in the lead by 11. What have we got? Yeah, 11 hundredths of a second. Roger Chen in P3, and TJ looking very, very, very fast through Parabolica, and super, super close to the grass on the outside, but close is fine. You don't want to go over the line. Again, using all of the curbs on the entry, missing the apexes nicely because you don't want to touch those. They do tend to unsettle the car. And out onto the oval, we will see how well this lap has been put together. TJ seems to be committing to it, Michael, so he must think he's got something.
Yeah, so far the split times are very strong. He's on par with the top drivers, so he should be able to improve. But I'm not sure if it will be enough to take the pole position. Let's see in a few seconds.
Yeah, the clock has hit 0. And TJ moves up 2 places to P5 only. Yoni Catilla looking strong and might get a chance to improve here. Let's see what he can do. Is Gabba also on the lap? Yes, he is. Just starting one. So he must have just snuck through in time to be able to set another lap time in this open qualifying session. And Michael, it looks like Yoni is going into the pits. So he's content. Ricardo's going to be our last car across the line, and I have to say, a little bit refreshing actually to have an open qualifying session, a bit more chaos than perhaps we're used to.
Yeah, it was definitely harder to follow than what is usual with the typical one-shot qualifying, but it's a nice refreshment after a while.
Let's see what is happening. Gabba goes down to the low line. Can he find just over a tenth to manage to get pole position here tonight? It's going to be close at the line, and it's not enough. But 300ths of a second only separating Joni Katila and Gabor. Class drivers in the Formula XR. We've got Roger Chen and Isaac Price currently sharing the second row. And that is everybody, Michael. So we aren't going to have any more improvements in the session. That is the qualifying for, weirdly, the sprint qualifying race that we're about to have. But there we go. Joni Katila, Gabba, Roger Chen, Isaac Price, TJ Dark, Sufor, Rex, Ricardo, and El Nano, your top 10, with Onifus, Gabri, Pit Pulga, Matti, Strutter, Al Payson, Elcor, Hachiroku, Grothavin, and Jalmaz CK in P20. And then on our second screen, 10 more cars. Fin UK, Pantheo, WhatsApp 2, Nando Alonso, Rocket, Badaruk, Jay, Arzi, Spiderman, and Hermani. And it looks like everybody's managed to get within the 107% time. Hermani is a 100th of a second shy of the 105% time. But everybody should be allowed to start with that. So we have a 30-car grid for race 1. Exciting stuff coming up in a couple of minutes' time, I think.
Yeah, it's a very healthy grid of 30 cars, and we can see that in those 10 minutes, every driver, even the slowest one, managed to pull out a very good time. So it will be a very competitive field tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Fox Friday is always competitive, but it's nice to have such a strong field for a milestone round. 750 Fox Friday events, and it falls on the finale of the 2024 season. So, Fragmaster's Fox Friday in its 15th year, of course. So, yeah, it's a huge effort from everyone involved to get to this milestone. And happy to be along to broadcast it. Let's keep everyone in the loop as to what the proceedings are this evening. That open qualifying session is completed. Then we'll have that 10-lap sprint race coming up in a couple of minutes' time once the timer drops down to 0. Then we'll have a 20-lap race with that mandatory pit stop. Then the feature race after that with another mandatory pit stop, but importantly, a top 15 reverse grid. So the results of the sprint qualifying race will, of course, set the grid for the 20-lap race, and we will get a reverse top 15 for the feature race starting at what we reckon will be about 10 past 9 UTC. Just over a minute to go, Michael, before we get lights out for sprint qualifying, and I think that's the first time that's ever been used in a Fox Friday event, especially one that we've broadcast.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm as ready as ever to witness another great spectacle of racing tonight with Fragmaster's Fox Friday.
Yeah, let's see how everybody fares. TJ not managing to get the pole position. He'll be starting down on row 3 alongside his teammate Dark. Lots and lots of work for the Road Appraiser team to do, considering they just won the Teams Championship as well. But Joni Katila is strong out front with Gabba. Roger Chen doing a great job to keep the Road Appraiser guys at bay, and Isaac Price snuck in there as well with exactly the same time. So super close. 5 drivers, interestingly, underneath the 139 barrier. That's an amazing, incredible pace for an open qualifying session where there's traffic to deal with. So finding a clean lap, super important. As Michael, do you want to take us away for the start of the race for the sprint qualifying?
And here we are already on the grid with 30 cars ready to go when the lights turn green. So far they're not even red, we are still waiting to synchronize. Yeah, the lights are turning red now, and we are going green for the first race, the sprint qualifying here. Everyone get a very good getaway, but looks like Gabor will be in the slipstream of True Alpha and will be able to get alongside. Instead, he decides to make a little bump, maybe trying to get away from Richard, but he's in the slipstream as well. So it looks like this trio will be able to break away from everyone else. As it's three wide with Roger Chen going through. Through Alpha on the inside now, taking back the lead. Gabor being very careful with these two fighting it for the lead, and this allows Isaac Price to catch up to this despite the early stragglers. So it's yeah, there's a lot of collision in the back, as you could just see. It was dark spinning around. As True Alpha is still leading, and there's a battle behind him between Gabor and Reggie Chen. And Isaac Price is under pressure from TJ, so it's a lot of battling here and there.
Yeah, TJ's up the inside of Isaac Price, so this is an important move early on for TJ. Isaac in the yellow car that we're watching there, we're on board with TJ, and Isaac has a nose ahead, but TJ now fully ahead into the braking zone for the double left, up to P4.
Yeah, but now TJ's line was compromised by Gabor closing the door, and that allows Isaac Price to be very close, and we definitely will be able to utilize the slipstream given here on the oval part. With True Alpha now running into the distance. Isaac Price is setting up the move on TJ. He will go alongside, he pulls out of the slipstream and makes a move. And these two might be able to catch up to Gabor before the braking zone and maybe even pass him if they cooperate. They don't seem to be cooperating, so that doesn't start anymore. TJ is now lining up alongside Isaac on the inside, who will break later. Gabor made a very late move, and that threw off these two, but they managed to stay away from each other, and it seems like Isaac will be able to keep that fourth place for the time being. And this battle allows Suffer to catch up to these. In fact, he's just being overtaken by Onefus, so that's another car in the equation.
Yeah, the highest placed Fragmaster car, Onefus, up to P6, and it looks like Gabri is also going to try and line up Sufor as well as we run up to the Parabolica. And yeah, Gabri up the inside, he's going to come straight up to the back of Onefus. Oh, pushed wide! Sufor off into the gravel, and that's going to be a lot of places lost. He's not been able to keep it out of the grass as we've got Pantheo. Oh, lots of cars spinning out here. That's who else have we got off in the gravel? Elcor off, Hachiroku also off, and Sufor still recovering. So an absolute chaos start for quite a number of drivers further down the field here.
Yeah, but it was a very difficult moment for Suffer as he did nothing wrong and was essentially collected by Gabri. As Isaac now made the move on TJ, but as is usual on this oval part, the move can be paid back in a few seconds as TJ is now overtaking, and I think they figured out that having a draft partner is faster than trying to defend, unless it's this turn.
Yeah, it's 10 laps. They have to work together, Michael. They have to work together. They haven't got the luxury of time. And if they want to do well, they might as well work together to try and catch up to Gabor. They're just holding each other up at the moment. TJ's still on the inside. Lucky there, actually, to stay on the track. He went over the grass. That could have easily ended up with him spearing into the side of Isaac. But Isaac keeps P4 for now. And they really are battling hard here.
Yeah, Gabor has it really easy now with these two losing place to each other. But it's a really great fight to witness.
Yeah, fantastic stuff, but obviously compromising both of their races. But we will keep watching with intrigue as TJ, wow, trying to find somewhere to get past, but it's not going to happen there. Yeah, I mean, this is fascinating. It's a 10-lap sprint race that determines the grid for race 2, and these two seem perfectly happy with P4 at best.
And let's not forget we still have over 7 laps to go, so there's still some opportunity for cooperation. So unless it's 2 laps to go, it doesn't make much sense to defend like that.
No, I thought as we switched to the nose cam of Gabba that Roger Chen had a tank slapper coming out of the final corner. He did, but then Gabor tapped the wall, and that's compromised him as well. So actually, the battle for P2, sorry, is neutralised as TJ goes for another move on Isaac Price over start finish. And will they finally work together here? Isaac goes to the outside. Does he know that TJ is going to defend on the inside? Yes, he does. There's no gap opening for Isaac Price as he tries to go around the outside once again. He's going to try the switch back here, Michael. TJ defends.
Yeah, TJ going defensive, and he might run a little bit wide, but keeps it on the grey stuff. And they somehow manage to catch up to Gabor, but as they battle on the rest of this circuit, they are losing time.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of rubber banding between these three.
They could have made that so much easier for themselves and could still in this race. As TJ drops a wheel on the grass and kicks up some dust, loses a little bit of time, and we just see the gap opening up behind Gabba's rear wing. As you can see, the 750 banner there in the background. Tonight is the 750th round of Fox Friday in its history as the longest running series in Live for Speed that happens every week. Impressive milestones all around this season. And yeah, the gap has gone up significantly between Gabba and TG.
As these two are not, it's 3 wide between Elnano, Pitbulga, and there's almost a contact.
There was.
And there's a spinner.
Yeah, it's Pitbulga going around, losing 4 places now. And finally onto the home straight. And it looks like the gap between TJ and Isaac has opened up, but not before TJ has completely lost contact now with Gabba, who's got the slipstream of Roger Chen. There could be a move for P2 into turn 2 here, but in the lead, Joni Katila stretching a gap of 1.2 seconds at this point.
Yeah, Joni Katila has it essentially secured, as we are now watching Gabor going around, essentially. Roger Chen, he didn't try to defend for some reason, so I think he might be wise to not lose time battling Gabor. And yeah, so that's position change between Gabor and Roger Chen for the second and third place, as for now.
Yeah, Roger Chen made that quite easy, I thought, but there we go. We see that Gabba is able to make the place while TJ and Isaac, fighting with each other for the first 4 laps of this race, are not contending really at the moment for the podium, as we'll be halfway through the race at the end of this lap. This is sprint qualifying, just to remind everybody. This sets the grid for race 2. It's a straight shoot to the line, no pit stop in the sprint qualifying. And, well, Roger Chen needs something of a miracle here, unless he wants to be caught by TJ, who has managed to close up significantly in the braking zone. This is really impressive stuff, now that he's broken free of Isaac Price, Michael.
Yeah, absolutely, but it seems like the gap between these 3 is big enough to avoid any drafting, at least for this particular lap. So I think Roger Chen is safe, but also unable to catch up to Gabor while drafting.
Yeah, a train of cars separated by plenty of air, which means they're not getting an advantage from one another. So somewhat of a stalemate, very evenly spread. You can see these 4. This is P2 to P5. But Gabba has his work cut out. 1.1 seconds to Joni Katila, with some very, very fast drivers chasing him down in the background. Drivers that have not just been a factor this year, but have been a factor over the very long history of the Fox Friday series. And now TJ is certainly within striking distance of Roger Chen. How many times have we said that this year? Can Roger hold on for 4 laps? You'd like to see it.
I'm sure we said it at least 750 times.
I think so. That's a bit harsh, but maybe at least 3. Give him some credit, as TJ now will be in the slipstream of Roger and may even have a chance into the double left. Super wide, and just about getting it within the lines. Roger's defending into here. That'll bring Isaac Price closer for sure. We can't quite see him in this camera shot, obviously he's behind, but TJ guaranteed then a good exit. A good run if he can get a good exit, and he does. Slightly helped by the fact that Roger somewhat threw that in the bin. And there in the background, Isaac not in the slipstream range at this point, and Roger will be able to pull away with TJ here.
Yeah, for some reason Roger doesn't slot behind TJ, so he might be waiting for the final slipstream opportunity towards the end of the first bend, as we are entering now. He has to go around the outside of next turn. Let's see who will be braver on the brakes, unless Roger Chen gets ahead before they even get there. It looks like TJ... There's still Sebastian TJ on the inside,
Yeah.
Still no contact. Little contact, and Isaac Price with a huge speed advantage.
Yeah, but he's boxed in. He's boxed in, but TJ... there's a gap. That's incredible. Threading the needle, Isaac Price forced to the outside. TJ will take the place back, and, well, it almost worked. But Roger holds on, P3 for now. Absolutely brilliant racing here in Fox Friday.
Yeah, these drivers are extremely skilled, and it really shows that even with those very close moments, they manage to not crash each other out. And let's see who gets the best exit. It looks like TJ might be in the slipstream, but it's not close enough unless he dive bombs into that turn. He goes for it somewhat, but it's not close enough, still side by side. And it allows Isaac Price to catch up, and also Onefus is now reasonably close, although not in the striking distance.
Oh, Roger got such a good exit, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to hold off Isaac Price, who's now had a slingshot off of TJ. Oh, it's going to be so close. TJ might even be the one to have a comeback here, but TJ, bad exit, and it could be a three-way fight into into the first infield turn. Yeah, here comes TJ. Oh, and Isaac pushes him as wide as he can. Oh, this is unbelievable stuff. These two really are going at it.
Everyone is fighting with everyone, although it's not the most sensible thing to do. TJ almost crashes trying to avoid Isaac Price. He's now on the outside of that turn, leaving
We're going to
place on the
see tears
inside.
here. We're going to have some tears here at the end of this race. Guaranteed. We've got two Fragmasters cars on the scene as well. So not only might it not be a podium, it might not even be a top 5 for these two if they don't be careful. TJ to the inside again. These two showing us what they've got, but in the same breath, also losing a heck of a lot of time. Roger Chen disappears again. I think they're just having fun.
Yeah, definitely. So are having we. Whoa, there's a tongue slapper for TJ, but he manages to stay in the right direction. And Onefus almost made it 3 wide, but decided to play it safely. As Isaac is now boxed behind TJ. Tries to go alongside, but doesn't have that much of speed advantage, and Onefus might go for 3 wide, but no, he's essentially scared, I would say, and is waiting for better opportunity, as they are now passing their teammate Panteo beached on the right hand side of them. And let's see if these two Fragmaster drivers will cooperate to overtake Isaac Price and TJ.
Yeah, they will. The Fragmasters drivers are teammates to the last, and well, there you go. You can see perfect formation for the slipstreaming. Isaac to the inside of TJ. Meanwhile, Rex is closing up to the back of TJ, and he's going to go around the outside, and it's going to be so much overspeed. And can Onefus follow him through? We're going to have 2 lanes. This is absolutely fantastic.
It's 4 wide.
It's 4 wide. Isaac needs to hold his line. Otherwise, it's going to be real tears. TJ to the lead now. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant.
Onefus 3 wide, Onefus in the middle, TJ on the inside. And still no contact. Although the Fragmaster cars came very close, but still experience really pays off.
Oh no, the Fragmasters drivers trip over each other, and Isaac somehow found himself in the lead again. But Roger with an absolute, well, the luckiest escape there, really. All thanks to Isaac and TJ deciding that they are in a race of their own this evening.
Yeah, and it's absolutely spectacular.
TJ to the inside, Rocket crashing. We're hearing somewhere down the grid. Our attention squarely focused on this battle as it has been. These two, I think they just want the airtime. Isaac needs some sponsors on that car.
Yeah. Definitely. With TJ Bank on the inside, Isaac tries to make it work the long way, but TJ took the line that was preferable. Right now we are again in the territory where slipstreaming will be important. And now we are at the end of penultimate lap, so it's now finally sensible to defend the position. And let's see how these two will play out.
Yeah, it becomes chess, not checkers, at the end of a race at KY2R, because the short run to the line is all determined at the final corner and the placement of your car. They go over the start-finish line side by side. Isaac takes the lead at the moment in this battle, and we should give some airtime really to Yoni Katila. He is out in the lead by 3/4 of a second now. The gap has come down by about half a second as TJ goes to the inside again on Isaac Price into turn 2.
Yeah, and still a lot of clean racing. So now TJ is ahead of Isaac Price, but they might go side by side into the next turn. No, Isaac decides to try to make a switchback. He's not close enough, but definitely has opportunity to utilize some slipstream as we are on the final lap, so he's running out of possible opportunities to make the move stick. He tries to go around the outside of that long right-hander. And these two fighting again allow Onifus to catch up. Will he be close enough as we will enter the final oval section? I don't think so, but we might be surprised. Again, TJ on the inside.
I mean, it might not have been the winning strategy in this race, but it's certainly been a strategy to make sure the cameras are squarely pointed at your cars as we come onto the oval for the final time. Yoni is at the final corner. We'll have to give him his attention as he comes across start-finish, but the cameras will snap immediately back to our battle for P4. Yoni Katila will comfortably win the sprint qualifying with Isaac Price now on the run. It's going to be side by side. Isaac will take the 4th place. Roger Chen P3. TJ will have to take P5. It's Onifus and that leads home his teammate in 6th. Rex comes across the line in P7. Then Dark, Strutter, and Gabri are your top 10. But my, not sure what these two were thinking, but they gave us a spectacle of a race there.
It was an amazing race, and the good thing is that we still have 65 laps of this to cover, so don't go anywhere. This will be a huge evening for everyone involved. We are now watching Badaruk going side by side with, I think, Spider-Man.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, and they are equal on the finish time, but Left 4 Speed recognized Spider-Man as the one who was faster. But there might be some photo finish action after the race, so it's not official yet.
No, for sure. A couple more cars to cross the line. Pantheo is one of them. Here he comes up to start finish. Pantheo managed to wriggle himself out of the gravel eventually to actually register a finish. That's actually crazy. I expected him to DNF, but he actually made it out. And I think that is everybody. So we can run through the final results then of our sprint qualifying race. Remember, this sets the grid for race 2. So I guess we should present this as the qualifying grid for race 2 is Yoni Katila on the front row ahead of Gabba, with Roger Chen and Isaac sharing row 2, TJ and Onifus row 3, Rex and Dark row 4, Strutter and Gabri row 5. Yoni Katila got your fastest lap for the first race, so let's keep an eye on that time, a 1:39.25. That's the benchmark fastest lap for the evening. And then, yes, the rest of the drivers will follow on. There's no reverse grid for race 2. It's just what you see is what you get for the grid. And that'll be coming up in a couple of moments' time. A 20-lap race 2 in 5 minutes, Michael.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, we got the added bonus of a mandatory pit stop, so the format starts to get a little bit more complicated. The drivers need to remember to come in and serve a clean pit stop. So what I expect is to see a couple of drivers going out, doing outlaps, and then coming immediately into the pit lane to practice a pit stop, because this is a long old pit lane, and the braking zone for pit entry is, well, it's so easy to get wrong, Michael.
But to be fair, tonight we don't really need pit stops. We just need TJ and Isaac Price battling it out for the rest of the evening, and we are good to go.
Yeah, I think everyone would be super happy with that. If that's all we got all evening was just those two going at it, then that would be brilliant. We're going to take a short break. Join us on the other side for race number 2. Welcome back to coverage of the finale of Fox Friday in Live for Speed, the 750th ever Fox Friday, and it is a special event format this evening. We've had qualifying, we've had sprint qualifying, and now, Michael, we have a 20-lap race for race 2 coming up in just 1 minute's time. A mandatory pit stop. It's going to be all action down into turn 1.
Yeah, we had absolutely fantastic battle between TJ and Isaac Price for P4, and I think the next race, which will be twice as long and with mandatory pit stop, will be as interesting as the one we just witnessed a few minutes before.
Yeah, here's how they finished. It's Yoni Katila who will be on pole alongside Gabba. Roger Chen and Isaac Price will share row 2. Then it's TJ, Onifus, Rex, Dark, Strutter and Gabri, your top 10. And Michael, take us away for the grid for race number 2.
And there we are on the grid for the second time this evening, as we are ready to go for race number 2 with 20 laps plus a mandatory pit stop with Yoni Katila through Alpha from Class Lions on the pole position, Gabor, Roger Chen and Isaac Price behind. and we are going, and it's like a very similar start for everyone else. True Alpha is now under pressure from Gabor, and in the sub-team is also Roger Chen and Isaac Price. These four might go 4 wide into the braking zone. So far they are going 2 wide and 2 wide, with 3 wide behind them. Now it's 3 wide, it's 4 wide with True Alpha on the inside, Isaac Price on the outside. Who breaks the latest? It's True Alpha who pushes Roger Chen on the outside, that boxes out Isaac Price, and Gabor sneaks through onto the second place. That was fantastic move. TJ didn't have a very good start and is dropping down to P6 or 7, I'm not even sure now.
That was absolutely epic from Roger Chen. I can't believe that he managed to hold on to that, and brilliant respect from drivers. 4 wide. Are you having a laugh into turn 2 on lap 1 of a 20-lap race? Brilliant stuff, and they're still going at it. Isaac Price, P4, trying to hurry along Yoni Katila and Gabor. Isaac up the inside on Yoni there.
The car goes a little wide, but he still allows space on this outside, so Yannick Attila is safe in 3rd place. And Gabor is slowly tearing away, as now Rex is behind these two, as late braking from Isaac Price pushing Catella wide, but they are still side by side onto the oval section at the end of lap 1. And it's now 3 wide with Rex trying to pass both of these. Let's see how well it goes for them, and Onefus is filling the inside line and right behind his teammate, so it's a very good cooperation between the Fragmaster cars. And it's also TJ, Isaac Price and Yoni Katela in the mix. It's
that can't be real.
Yeah, he's boxed out and couldn't move anywhere.
This is unbelievable. How are they not making contact? Touchwood. That is a diamond formation. Isaac Price trying to squeeze up the inside. Surely not. Unbelievable. They've saved the best till last year. 5 wide. Ridiculous.
And still no contact. It's absolutely incredible.
Brilliant. The most experienced Fox drivers in for speed at the moment, as we've got there. Yoni Katila catching a slide on the grass. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and this allowed Onefus to tear away, but for about a lap, Yoni pushes TJ wide. It's a
TJ off.
Serious contact, but manages to stay in the right direction, only losing speed and positions.
To be fair, not a lot Yoni could have done there, really. He was on the limit of grip. Yeah. TJ had his car on the outside, and sometimes that is just what happens, but not the start that TJ would have wanted to the second race here, as we've got Yoni Katila on dark then. And a bit of a gap opening up. Gabri on Yari now.
Yeah,
Gabri
trying around the outside, but Yon is definitely the more experienced driver here, and Gabri might be under pressure from Strutter as we speak. Dark is having his car very nervous, and this 4 might be into another gaggle of drafting cars in a few moments.
Gabber's got a slipstream on Roger Chen, and he's going wide because he wants to line Roger up to get the perfect run. And let's see if we get a lead change, and if so, where? Not going to be before start finish, so Roger had it well placed out of the final corner. Maybe a bit of practice for later on, which he will certainly need. But just flashbacks to that first corner, Michael. What a stunning start to the race from those guys.
Yeah, especially that first 2 turns from Gabor were incredible, as he sneaked past, I think, 3 cars who were trying to stay around the outside, and he just utilized the space that was there. That was a very clever move from Gabor, and he manages to keep the lead for the time being, demoting Roger Chen to P2. Yeah. And these 2 might be able to run away from the rest of the grid, with Onefus and Rex in P3 and 4.
We've got a drive-through for Pit Polgar, who finds himself down in P28 at the moment, so not a good start to his race here. As we've got Gabri and Strutter in a battle into Parabolica. Strutter in the Fragmaster livery, the red and blue and black, and Gabri there in the Master Race Car white and black livery in the middle. And that's Sufor, who is just behind him now.
Yeah, and I think Sufor will be very careful, as he already had one coming together with Gabri in the previous race, so he might be scared to make a move unless it's on a very wide oval section. Gabri is not close enough to utilize the slipstream of Strutter. This seems so for the time being, and even further is suffer from Gabriel, so I don't expect these three to shuffle. As TJ dives into the pit lane, let's hope he doesn't get a drive-through penalty for speeding. Breaks very wide, but manages to keep it under the limit. It's safe to expect that it will be a very short stationary stop with no pit work whatsoever. There he goes, and he's already moving, as I said, so about 1.2 seconds long stop. With a driver, I am not sure that is also in the pit lane. Yeah, that's Grotevin. And this drops TJ to P19, and seems like that will be his position, as we have battle between Finucane and Panteo, who definitely didn't enjoy the previous race, being beached for essentially whole race. And now he is able to fight his teammate, and that was very close. And there's Dark fighting with Yone for P6.
Yeah, we had to cut away from the action with Fragmasters because Yoni was going for a send into Parabolica, now into the double left. Yoni well placed, but Dark doing a good job putting his car in all the right places, and a bit of a slap from Yoni. And Dark is forced to pick up the pieces, and he's going to lose more places onto the oval here because he's lost all that momentum. Strutter will get him. Gabri might also get him. So Strutter now on the outside of Dark. And that does allow Yoni to pull away. Before pits, electing to do his mandatory stop relatively early. We're only on lap 5. He came in at the end of lap 4. And still we are side by side with Dark. I feel a bit bad for Dark there, Michael. That was a bit of a slap.
Yeah, it was a much unfortunate moment, but in the end he only lost time and a bit of position, which is not as critical as losing whole race in the progress. So I think he's good to go for the remaining 16 laps we have to cover.
Yeah, but don't go anywhere. We've got lots of thrilling action. We've also loaded up the screenshots of the new Kyoto environment for you to enjoy between race 2 and 3 this evening. So plenty of stuff to enjoy. Michael did the calculation. I think we have 75 laps of racing total this evening in 2 hours and 10 minutes at least of races. So lots of Fox action to bring you on a Friday evening for the finale of the 2024 Fox Friday Championship by Fragmasters. Also the 750th ever event in this series, making it the series with the most races, or most weekly races ever in Live for Speed.
Yeah, a lot of symbolic numbers tonight on the table. I'm seeing Onefus being under pressure from Rex, his Fragmaster teammate. They're battling for P3 as they just entered the oval, and they're trying to run away from Isaac Price. It's safe to assume that these two would be cooperating.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, the Fragmasters team, synonymous really with oval racing in yesteryear. They used to have lots of servers that were dedicated to oval racing. Oval Junkies being one of them. Used to be in the BF1, and they have a very strong, long history of oval racing, so you'd expect them to be pretty good at the old drafting, or slipstreaming, whatever you want to call it today. But that actually looked like Onifus wanted to keep the place going into this lap, so keep Isaac Price in mind as he tries to close up to the podium.
Yeah, so far Isaac doesn't seem to have the answer to two cars cooperating and utilizing each other's dirty air on the oval section, so far he has to be happy with the 5th place and maybe try to outsmart these two through the pit lane with the mandatory pit stop. All of these have yet to do their stops.
Yeah, so much to happen in this race still. We have a lot of drivers who owe us a pit stop. Everyone in the top 15 is one of those people. And TJ is leading the cars that have already made a pit stop there in P16. So that gives you some sort of idea of where everyone else is going to be aiming. What that means in terms of time, though, is that TJ is 31 seconds off the lead, which does tell me that he would be probably around P9 still, because it doesn't take you that long to drive through the pit lane in a Fox, as we've got a change of position again between Rex and Onifus. These two working together on the oval, which is helpful if you have a teammate that can allow you to do that.
And they're doing that really perfectly, and the gap to Isaac Price is already huge. He really has no weapons to utilize to catch these two.
Yeah, the Fragmaster's team will be setting their sights firmly on Roger Chen and Gabbert, and they won't really care what Isaac's doing behind, other than if he does manage to close up at all, as we've got Doctor getting through on Pantheo over start finish, as Matty there in the background running a Stars and Stripes livery I've not seen before. But still a battle going off between Doctor, who's leading there, and Pantheo.
Yeah, Pantheo on the outside, but there's not much. Whoa, he almost made it stick around the outside, but Doctor's line was essentially faster, and he's now under pressure from Matty, who didn't have a good exit though, so the positions stay as they were before we catch this pack. But Matty is now in a perfect position to utilize Pantheo's struggles. Let's see if they will try to go side by side into that U-turn right-hander we are coming in now. And no, it looks like Matty tries to make some sort of a switchback, which might work, but Pantheo is trying to break the slipstream, and he does so. And it looks like Matty might be able to snatch his position. And also Finuke is catching up these two, battling and slowing each other down. And Pantheo is really struggling because he's already pretty much out of the slipstreaming range of the car ahead. So yeah, not the greatest day for Pantheo tonight.
Well, that was a great move from Matty.
Yeah,
nice move. Gabbert has just opened up the gap to Roger to over 1 second. And so, well, Roger's still applying the pressure, but Gabbert is able to, at this stage, continue to open the gap. It's 2.3 seconds between Gabbert and Onifus, and you can see there that actually I think the gap between Onifus and Rex has opened up. Onifus doing a stellar job at the moment, P3, but with the pit stop still to owe, and Isaac Price trying to close the gap, which he too seems to be able to manage. This could be a pretty frantic battle for the podium at the end of this race.
Yeah, so far we are in lap 8 out of 20.
Oh,
Matty made a mistake.
Yeah, he's gone off. He's lost a bunch of places. So after making a nice move on Pantheo, drops down to P23. So that's a little bit unfortunate. Still lots of laps left to make some more places back up, but Rex has got the slipstream on Onifus, which Isaac Price won't be happy to see.
Yeah, another opportunity to run away from Isaac, and they really know it. Will they make another switch of positions before they get into the braking zone? It would be faster for them, and it looks like they will cooperate as Rex leaves the place to Onifus again. Maybe they agreed that Onifus will be the leading man in this pack. And it shows to be a great strategy against the greats of Isaac Price.
I mean, you say that, it might be a good strategy against Isaac, but it's not a good enough strategy against Roger Chen, who opens up the gap by 1/10 of a second on the previous lap. So even with the slipstream, Roger is doing enough, it seems. In fact, no, the gap has just gone down again at the first sector, but only by about 1/10 the other way. Rex got fastest lap to show you that it had some effect, so my apologies, but yes, Roger Chen still doing a very solid job out there.
Yeah, both Roger Chen and Gabor are really strong. This is usual for every time we are broadcasting Fox Friday, but tonight they are really unbeatable in this context.
Yeah, we're approaching halfway in race 2 this evening, although it's probably fair to say this is actually race 1. It's not a qualifying race, it's an actual race. And Isaac Price, although the two cars ahead of him are slipstreaming, he's still within touching distance, but again he's going to lose out here. As Onifus and Rex do their switching again. Keep an eye. Look at that. Look at the gap between Rex and Roger Chen. Keep an eye on that gap as they come around to the first sector line. Roger Chen's doing an amazing job to keep ahead of these two.
Yeah, absolutely. They're really strong in this whole section as they can essentially use two engine powers to battle one drag force, and that pushes them forward so much on that very long, I would say straight. It's a few left-hand turns, but it's essentially a straight in terms of throttle usage. And this really allows them to keep the momentum, but there was a mistake and Isaac Price is now on the tail of Onefus, so it looks like their magic may be broken now.
Yeah, you're only as strong as your weakest link, and in that case, Onifus just wasn't able to follow Rex as effectively as he needed to, and Isaac now might have a drafting buddy to use. As in the back of the grid, we've got Matty and Finn side by side into turn 2. Matty on the inside. Oh, and a little bit of contact, but they do go through. As we're into the final sector, and Isaac needs to focus every effort on that exit onto the oval. Remember, the drivers might be using slightly different downforce, and it does look like Isaac didn't get the best exit, or certainly not the exit he needed, Mike.
Yeah, but he's closer than Onefus is to Rex, so if anyone will be getting the draft, it would be Isaac over Onefus. But so far he's not gaining anything, and it might to stay there until the end of this straight. So yeah, Onefus lost the draft of the car ahead, but still has a respectable pace next to Isaac Price, so he's not vulnerable for the time being. Could be a different matter in lap or two from now, though, as Isaac is getting ever so closer in every braking zone. He's really braking way later than cars around him, and he can already sniff the exhaust of Onefus.
Yeah, it's super close, but it's just not close enough to affect a pass at this stage. The gap still increasing between Rex and Roger is remarkable from our top two to be able to pull away from strong drivers. But let's see, can Isaac get the exit he needs? Bear in mind that nose you can see on the right hand side, now the left, is Yoni Katilla, who is also not one to forget. He's out of slipstream range. I think he's in fact going to the pit lane. Yeah, he's at the bottom of the shot there, now the top, going into the pits. Doesn't want to get caught up in the fight with Isaac. I think he's worked out that he can lap faster without the slipstream than Isaac. But I think Isaac might be about to get a slipstream, so Yoni may have wanted to stay out a bit longer there.
He's not close enough, not even for this time. So yeah, another lap to go.
Yeah, not on this occasion, but possibly the next lap as Strutter leaves his pit box, so too does Yoni Katilla, and they will head out to rejoin the track. But the important question is, where is TJ? TJ's going over start finish, and well, by the looks of it, Yoni Katilla is going to be ahead. That would be my bet as they head down to turn number 1. Yeah, TJ is only just coming round now, and Yoni, there you go, there's the gap, at least 3 seconds. We'll get an exact gap at the timing line. Here it is. And the gap between TJ and Yoni Katilla is 2.93 seconds. So everybody ahead of Yoni will rejoin at the lead of this race. TJ will be somewhere around P7 by the time everything shuffles itself out. Obviously barring any problems for other drivers. Gabba for Sidus leads the way, 2.25 seconds over Roger Chen. That gap starting to open up. 0.8 of a second back to Rex now, who has cut free of his teammate Onifus. The momentum swinging between the two Fragmasters drivers here.
Absolutely, and to my surprise, Isaac Price is not able to keep up with Onifus and Rex, so maybe something wrong with his car. The gap is larger than was before for him in this race. Master Race car Gabri has been into the pit lane. And at the end of the last lap, Gabor took the fastest lap achievement. And with 7 laps to go, Isaac Price might be in the opportunistic moment to think about pitting and undercutting the 2 cars ahead, as he cannot beat them on the track, at least so far it seems so. Usually it's sensible to pit as late as possible, but here the strategic advantage could be pitting sooner than that and making pressure on the 2 cars ahead. But he decides to keep it on the racing line, at least for this particular lap. And there's a huge gap behind Isaac Price to Master Race Cars PD. There's, I don't know how many, 7 seconds difference between 5th and 6th place, so that's a huge performance difference between these. There's Nando Alonso going side by side with Hachiroku, I believe. No, it was a car a lap back. There is Hachiroku, another few seconds behind in P8. Then it's True Alpha, Yone Katela in P9. After the pit stop as well, after the pit stop is TJ in 10th place. And then he would be followed in P11 by his Roto Preza teammate Dark and another Roto Preza car, Ricardo, right behind them. So that's a 3-way train of Roto Preza cars. And I see in the background Rex has managed to catch up to Roger Chen. Yeah, there we go. That's very surprising to me. So Roger Chen may have made some mistake, because otherwise he was running away with Gabor into the distance. Yeah, I'm being told he was half a second slower in split 1, so there was definitely some sort of mistake, or maybe just caught the traffic in a very bad spot. But he's now in a very bad situation, as he's under pressure from Rex, who is in the slipstream. And yeah, very late movement, but he decides to enter the pit lane.
That's got to be annoying for Rex.
Yeah, he denied the slipstream opportunity.
Yeah, and also he spent so long trying to catch up, and Rex is like, nope, straight into the pits. Anyway, it's totally within his rights to do it. He can pit exactly when he chooses to. We've got some other Fragmaster cars in the pit lane as well. We've got Pantheo there. But yeah, leading the race still, it's Gabba now by 3.3 seconds ahead of Rex, then Onifus, who himself was almost there, caught by Isaac Price. Was Isaac was he just in the slipstream at the end there? But he's very, very close. I think he was just about in the slipstream here, so potential podium fight coming up.
Yeah, he's now getting really close, but it only matters at the beginning of the oval section, and so far Isaac never was close enough to utilize that. So let's see if it will be any different at the end of this lap.
Yeah, all focus has to go on to the exit that you get out of the final corner. The run onto the oval is the most important factor if you want to make an overtake there. We know Isaac can be pretty late on the brakes into the double left. A slightly better line on the way in, same line on the way out, so should be an advantage if everything worked out for him. Let's see what the gap is like. Yeah, he's going to be in a slipstream, but is it enough?
I
That's
think
the question.
it is, but it will take a whole way to first braking zone to utilize. He's barely as fast as Ohnefus, but is slowly trying to catch up.
There's got to be something set up wise that's
he's
different here, but he's
already
found the
catching,
slipstream
finally.
now. Here we go. Onifus almost opened the gap, but Isaac to the outside. Does he have the overlap? No. Onifus can hold him out. Oh, they've made huge contact.
And Isaac really elegantly managed to get out of that issue, I would say.
We were on board with Isaac. We don't know how much room he left, but it looked like he left enough.
Yeah, there was enough room, but it was a little understeer moment for the car on the outside. So, yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit unlucky.
Yeah, very tiny contact, but this time it didn't end up well.
Yeah, well, fortunately, this isn't the long race. This isn't the 45-lap feature race we've got coming up in a few moments' time. This is only 20 laps, so we don't have to necessarily worry too much about the impact that just had on the cars or the tyres. What it does mean is that Isaac is up to P3. He has earned himself a podium.
I think not, because he's yet to pit, and he definitely lost a lot of time.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely true. I think getting ahead of myself. I think. So we switch to TJ, who will also, well, probably actually will be pretty close then to those two, maybe even ahead at this point. And Yoni Katilla and Roger Chen. They are your benchmark drivers.
Ohnefus is into the pit lane now with very hot tires. It's a sensible decision too. So he allows to cool them down a little bit. Again, very short stationary time. Let's see where he rejoins after that hassle with another car a lap before. Meanwhile, we can see Happy from Master Race Car has been promoted to P4, but I believe he's, you can see in the timing tower he's still yet to stop. As is Gabor, Rex, Isaac, and Nando Alonso. Everyone else, apart from Butua Rocket, have been into the pit lane. And it looks like Ohnefus is out behind Dark in P10.
Yeah, a couple of seconds, well, maybe a second is the gap, so that was interesting. But yeah, as a result of that spin, that's what happens. Ohnefus, best case, P5. Realistic case, P8 or P9. More likely P9. So, bit of a shame. Finn and Elcourt having a bit of contact, and that's let Matty catch up. You can see that he's just there as well. Elcourt,
it's very close.
Here comes Gabba. 3 laps to go, including this one. 3.7 seconds in the lead over Rex. Isaac, well, he'll be thinking about what happened with Ohnefus. And I think that's going to have quite an impact on his race result. Yoni Katilla, fastest lap. In clean air, without any help from outside assistance, like a slipstream. A very impressive lap, that one.
Now with 2 laps to go, we are essentially running out of opportunities to make a mandatory pit stop work, so we can expect the top 5 drivers to hit the pit lane either now or the lap after. Otherwise they get penalized or even disqualified if they don't go into the pit lane at all. would be for the first time. Also, Rocket and Hermione are yet to pit, but these are down in the pack. As we are now having a side-by-side moment between Ocon and Matti. And let's hope they don't make contact. They don't. And that was a very clean move. This allows the Fragmaster car of UK to catch up to this. And we might see some 3-wide action on the oval. As Gabor has been in the pit lane. Let's see where he rejoins. Happy has been in the pit lane as well. And Nandalos has been in the pit lane as well.
Gabor's going to be miles in the lead. Yannick Catella's only just going over the second start-finish line. Gabor's around oval turn 1 and on his way to turn 2. And in the background there, that was Roger Chen. So massive gap that Gabor has opened up. 3 seconds-ish. So good pit stop. Here we see Elcor chasing Finn UK, chasing Matti. It's going to combine or coalesce into an incident or an overtake or a 3-wide or something into turn 2. And, well, it turned into something. Elcor there having a bad time. And Finn UK can focus his attention now on Matti. 2-4 and Strutter also in a fight. 2-4 on the outside into Parabolica. Whoa! Threw that in there very nicely, Michael, and he could do him around the outside.
Yeah, so very good move, and Suffer now has a speed advantage as he took a larger radius around the turn and is ahead for the time being.
Excellent overtake as Rex comes into the pits. So too does Isaac Price.
Yeah, let's see where these rejoin.
We've got Pantheo stationary in the pits, so he's not happy with his progress in this race. But as we head on to the final lap, Rex clocks over onto the final lap while in pit lane. He's going to get overtaken there by Gabor, who resumes his lead. Roger Chen will be coming out in a fight with Rex, but actually Rex done a nice job and takes over P2. So Roger actually couldn't get that P2 back for himself.
Yeah, and the True Alpha is not that far back from him, but since we are on the last lap, he shouldn't be under threat.
No, remember that we have a top 15 reverse grid for race number 3, so keep an eye on who finishes in P15. At the moment, it's Nando Alonso.
Yeah, and in the meantime, DJ has been promoted up to P5, so pretty good result after not very strong start he had.
Yeah, well, for the penultimate time this evening, and indeed for the season, Michael, take him to the line.
So there we have the Gabor's Sidus machine that's really unstoppable tonight, as he's now hugging the final turn of this oval section and is about to win the race number 1 or 2, I don't even know, but it's race number 2. It's the penultimate race of tonight as he crosses the start-finish line in the first place with fastest lap so far. Rex and Roger Chen close behind. True Alpha in 4th place with TJ in 5th place. These two shared the fastest lap of the race. And it's Dark in P6, Isaac Price 7th, 8 Onefus, 9 Ricardo, top 10 closed by Master Race Cars PD. Then it's Suffer, Stratter, Gabri, Doctor. Nando Alonso finishes in P15, which will be a pole position for the final race of this evening, the 45 laps race, so more than twice as long as this one. Then in unfortunate P16, Fragmaster's Alpazon, followed by Hachiroku, Matti, Finuke, Elcor, Grotelian. Then in P22, it shall be... It's What's Up in P22, very interesting name. Then P23, Pitpulga. And we are waiting for a few more cars to go with it's probably Rocket being the last car over the line we are waiting for before we can announce full results of this race. It's just about now entering the final oval section.
And yeah, we can do the final rundown of the race results for race number 2. It is Gabba who wins this one, followed by Rex and Roger Chen on the podium. Yoni Katila, best of the rest, in P4 on this occasion. And TJ, well, it didn't go well at the start of the race. He finished P5. A decent-ish recovery to pip his teammate Dark to P5. There we have Isaac Price finishing in P7. He had a coming together with Onifus close to the end of the race, which saw them both spinning down at turns 2 and 3 before resuming over the grass at turn 4. Then we've got Ricardo in P9 and Happy D rounding out your top 10. Sufor, Strutter, Gabri, Doctor, Nando Alonso, Alpace, and Hashiroku, Mati, Finuke, and Elcor are your top 20. Over on the second page of our results screen, we have another 10 names, although only 6 of them registered as finishing. It's Grothavin, What's Up to, Pitbulga, Hermani, Adam Badaruk, and Spider-Man, your 26 finishers, with RZ, J, El Nano, and Jama CK not registering on the, not being classified, did not finish various numbers of laps down. Michael, we'll have a little bit of a break between races 2 and 3 because the grid will need to be set manually for that in a reversed top 15, which means that everyone from 15th downwards will be reversed, which means that Gabor will start in 15th and Nando Alonso will start on pole position with everybody else fitting in between. Alpacin is the unlucky one in this occasion, starting in P16 where he finished, and everybody else behind will follow suit.
Yeah, and in the meantime, in the background, it looks like TJ has disconnected from the server. I'm not sure if he's intending to come back, but so far he's not on the grid. So it's hard to tell how the grid will look like for the major race of tonight evening.
Yeah, and while we wait for the third race, a reminder that this is the finale and also the 750th ever Fox Friday special taking place at Kyoto Ring National Reversed. We have a whopping 45-lap feature race coming up in a few minutes' time with a top 15 reverse grid and still that mandatory pit stop. So lots to look forward to in this race, and lots to look forward to in Live for Speed as we bring you now a slideshow of the graphics update to Kyoto, which was announced. Further announcements to it were made this evening, Michael, and these screenshots, they look stunning. I mean, the expansion to the Kyoto Ring environment and Live for Speed is breathtaking. It's massive.
Yeah, it was absolutely wonderful, and I cannot wait for the day this gets released. So yes, so far we can only check out these beautiful screenshots of in the development game.
Yeah, lots and lots of reprofiling happening. You mentioned that there was noticeable reprofiling happening to the infield at Kyoto. I haven't had too much time to inspect that myself, but one thing we did know going into this update was that obviously the chicane on Kyoto GP Long, that chicane that has almost since been replaced really by the Boothie chicane, has kind of become a fixed sort of feature of the track. We've got here seemingly a separate set of what looks like almost a kart track in the middle.
Yeah, it is confirmed there will be a karting track as well. So a new configuration on Kyoto as well for fast karts.
Yeah, and lots of outfield roads here. You see an enormous roundabout, and yeah, so lots and lots to look forward to. Some tunnels under the track, so lots of interesting opportunities for races around the kind of the streets and the support roads around the Kyoto track, and it looks super in the night as well with all the lighting. So tantalizing, and clearly Eric's been very busy, but you know these teasers look fantastic. I really hope we get our hands on it pretty soon because, like a lot of other people, Michael, I'm sure you and I would be chomping at the bit to get out and try this configuration or try this environment, because these just look amazing. There's the new Kyoto North pit lane that we were sort of teased. We kind of deduced that might be a thing based on some of the earlier teasers, but there is going to be a new combination. We think it's going to be called Kyoto North, inspired by the open configuration that Thilo Falkenberg put together for New Dimension Racing way back when. So that is going to be a thing. So thank you, Thilo. But yeah, brilliant screenshots. So we hope you enjoy those. And do check out the progress report on the LFS website. The link to that has been kindly pinned in the chat by Chris McElroy. As we get ready for the final race of the season. Look at that! There's like a set of houses down there by the looks of it.
Yeah, it will be a very lovely place to be at, and you can see a very reprofiled infield section of that Kyoto ring with very new and unrecognizable corners there.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, that, because the very, very popular combination is Kyoto National. So we'll have to see how it plays out. I mean, if history is anything to go by, it's going to be great. So I can't wait to try it. And yeah, thanks a lot to the devs and to Eric for the work that's gone into producing these. It's just mind blowing the amount of work that's gone into that. The grid is still being formed in the background. We should turn these off before we get mighty distracted. And then return to the screenshots of the old Kyoto, or the current version of Kyoto, which we have this evening. Thanks everyone very much for joining us for the finale to season, the 2024 season of Fox Friday by Fragmasters. It's been a pleasure to be invited along to do another season of Fox Friday, and well, it's been an absolutely cracking season. Before the action got underway today, we mentioned that TJ was crowned the Drivers' Champion for 2024, adding to his long list of successes in this season, multiple champion, and adds another one to his collection. Likewise, TJ and Doctor win the Teams Championship ahead of Fragmasters, with Rex Anonymous there, and Gabba and Zesty take P3 for the Siders team, Michael.
Yeah, it was a very hectic championship year for everyone, and it's a very well-deserved first place for Preza. They will get over the 3,000 points margin tonight, definitely, as the grid is pretty much ready. We are now waiting for drivers to ready up, so it might take another minute or two.
Yeah, happy to wait for those. I'm going to bring this back up again because I am actually not bored of looking at these screenshots. But yeah, just while these are going round, we need to thank everybody at Fragmaster for the dedication that they show to Live for Speed in organising a suite of events. They've got servers, they've got obviously they've got GTI Thursday that concluded yesterday, and Fox Friday, of course, their kind of flagship series that is enjoying its 750th edition tonight. There's that Kyoto North pit lane I was talking about in the background. And yeah, it does look to be reprofiled. You are right, Michael. There was an aerial shot somewhere, which I need to get another look at to kind of see what you mean by unrecognizable corners, I think you described it. But yeah, super interesting.
Yeah, I was more talking about the middle section of the national configuration, which you can see right there.
Yeah, there you go.
Middle. That look very different.
Yeah, the chicane doesn't look as open. Definitely some significant reprofiling. I'd be surprised. In fact, I think it's impossible to take that chicane in the middle flat in a Fox anymore. The chicane through the middle of the national circuit. There we go. That's a better look at it. Maybe, although from that angle, it's difficult to tell. It's going to be fast, but it's not going to be flat out. As we head to the grid for our 45-lap feature race, Michael Málek, for actually the final time this season, please take it away for the grid.
So we are getting ready on the grid. There you can see Nando Alonso on the pole position after great qualifying in P15 with Gabri alongside him on the front row. And we are going green. And let's see who gets the best start out of this. And it looks like these two have equally good start. And Safar got a little push from Happy and might be able to get into the 3-wide situation with these two, but he's now boxed in. Nando is still leading. Happy is now boxed in as well. Isaac Price is now utilizing draft of everyone. Suffer onto the inside, so a lot of die bombing, but no contact so far. And Nando Alonso is down to P4 with contact behind a lot of side-by-side action. But now it's Suffer leading with Happy behind him. Then Masteriska Gabri. Isaac Price now overtaking Nando Alonso, who's very cautious. Through Alpha right and the mix there with Onifus, Gabor, and Dark. And Panteo has been in the shunt. Here we can see Safar already making a gap as in the back Onifus in battle with Dark, Gabor, and Tioni. So a lot of cars battling with each other. And it looks like Onifus is now in a preferred position, drafting Ioni and Nando Alonso. Nando Alonso making a very late move. And Ioni on the inside, there's a 3-wide behind them. As we are watching from Gabor's rear, everyone going very safely through, and it's contact between Nando Alonso and Yoni Katila. This allows Gabor to sneak past, as well as Onifus and Rajichen also has a speed advantage over this, so we might see 4-wide maybe. Rajichen is boxed in, or at least he's very cautious. So is Onifus, to offer not allowing them, and Rajichen is now 4-wide. Nando Alonso on the outside, overtaking Gabor through Alpha, and that was very close. But still 4-wide.
How was that not an explosion?
Nando was still leading this pack as they are not very cooperating. Gabor around the outside, their space.
No.
Contact. Nando had to back off, otherwise there would be a nasty accident. Contact between Onifus and Gabor, but again, no harm done. And I was struck who's were just complete mayhem after the first one with Nando Alonso battling Dark.
Brilliant stuff, absolutely awesome. Nando Alonso, a fish out of water, if that's fair to say, but doing a fantastic job of making the action look spectacular. It's Sufor, Happy D, Gabri, followed by Isaac Price. Can Isaac Price get onto the podium in this feature race? Well, he's trying to do it now. He's trying to go up the inside of Gabri at Parabolica. He'll be on the outside for the double left, and I think Gabri's got that one cleared for now, so we'll assume that that's the way it's going to stay as we take a look at Sufor and see if he can keep that gap to Happy D, who's found his way up to P2 at the moment. Now Gabber leads a train of cars onto the oval, but looks like he could come under threat from Roger Chen here.
Yeah, Gabor is leading the train with the one wagon being Roger Chen, and he's waiting patiently on the upper line of that wagon. And here we see that Gabor being already under the pressure of Roger Chen, going side by side, and Roger Chen getting ahead, but he's not fully ahead, and at this point Gabor gets speed advantage as he's on the shorter line into the first turn. Or at least the first braking zone. Who breaks later? It will be they break equally late, and looks like Roger Chen had to back off to avoid Gabor understeering into him, and that allows Rex to catch up to him as well. So it will be a 4-weight battle for P6, I believe, P5, P6, with 2 Fragmaster cars right there at the back.
Yeah, the same 2 Fragmasters cars that were causing everybody headaches in the previous race are on the scene already. And, you know, Gabber's had an absolutely amazing start up from P15 to P6. Roger Chen right up there as well. But Sufor currently leading by 0.2 of a second over Happy D, who took the fastest lap. And it could be a change for position at the very front if Happy D can get the exit that he needs here.
Yeah, so far he's not close enough, but this curb is very difficult to take. But it looks like Happy D is not close enough for the time being, unless he has let's drag his car seat up. And he seems to be starting to slow again,
he's
but it's not enough.
gaining on him. Oh, it will be enough. He's going to have enough overspeed for sure by the time he gets to C1 here. The potentially more downforce on Sufor's car. Here comes Happy D. Sufor has to defend it. He has no choice, and doesn't. Fair enough. Easy place for Happy D.
Yeah, Sufor recognizes Happy D's superiority in this situation and doesn't want to fight him to lose even more time, as it's too wide
please
for
do
third
come
place.
through.
Yeah, pretty much. And for the third place, it was side by side between True Alpha and Isaac Price, I believe. And it's Isaac. No, it was True Alpha and Gabri, and it's the first mentioned who is ahead after the first sector of this lap. So now we have Happy D leading, and it looks like Gabor will have a lot of work to do to even get alongside Happy D, let alone getting past him. He's still in P6 with two cars, Gabri and True Alpha ahead of him. That will definitely make a headache every time he will try to make a move on them.
Yeah, this is going to be a lengthy race, so buckle in, folks. We are going to have over an hour of racing to complete the season. So the moves that are being made at the moment matter not, because everything is going to shake itself out later on as we watch Gabber going for a move on the inside there of Gabri.
Yeah, so does Isaac Price on Safar. He's gaining through the slipstream and he's now taking the second place. Not close enough to Happy D, but definitely better situation to be in for him.
Yeah, he's made a good move through the field so far, up to P2, and the feature race is the race that matters. It's the one that is last, therefore has the most importance always in this sort of racing format. So Isaac is very nicely placed to score a good finish here if he can convert it into one. Gabber got the fastest lap on the last time around, currently P5, chasing down Yoni, who's going under the pseudonym, as he does these days, as True Alpha.
In the meantime, Nando Alonso, who started from pole position, has been beached into turn number 2 and is still trying to get back on the track. He's now in the very last place, so that's the worst start he could possibly imagine.
Yeah, not ideal for him, having the pole position and then being stuck. I would admit defeat at that point. That's a part of the track that someone can go wide at. Actually, he is moving. I might be able to get back on the track. He's got to do it quickly, because someone could quite easily slam into him and he could end someone else's race. But that looks terminal.
Yeah, and that tire stack behind him is definitely not helping on his efforts to get back onto the track. And he has just retired from the race, so there it goes. So Gabor is now getting advantage over True Alpha, who's not defending the position. Gabor on the inside, True Alpha now behind him, no longer on the outside, but might try to get the place back. Will he make a dive bomb? No, he's sensibly waiting behind. The car is already understeer in the dead air. That's P4 stick for Gabor, still 3 places to go before he can lead the race.
Yep, he's on the climb, and we'll see who else wants to climb up the order. Remember that the fuel loads might be different for the drivers in this race because it is a longer format race. There will certainly be some fuel strategy going on. There is no way that everybody started with full fuel. I'd be very surprised if anyone's got a full tank in their Formula XR for this one. And it's nice for a change that we basically end up with an endurance format race on the broadcast this year. I was wondering if we were going to get one, and we have. So a little bit of pit lane strategy on show. Who's got what under their car? As Michael spotted Roger Chen versus Gabri here.
Yeah, and Rajichan goes on the inside, and Gabriel is not very defensive, as he recognizes he can try to take the place back right here, or even cooperate with Rajichan, who didn't defend that place either. And let's see if there will be one more move, as Fragmaster cars behind them that are definitely cooperating, but they're a bit too far behind to utilize. And yeah, you can see Gabriel is leaving the space open for Rojichan, so these two made a lot of speed advantage over that oval section without hurting each other. But so did the Fragmaster cars behind them, and Gabriel will have a very difficult sleep in the following laps. And speaking of difficult sleep, also it's Isaac Price getting very close to Happy D for the first place. Still not in the striking distance, but Happy D took a very wide line through here. As Panteo from Fragmaster has retired from the race.
Yeah, unlucky. Not the best afternoon for Pantheo, but now we can see what Michael was talking about. Isaac Price closing into our race leader. And yeah, just watching this race now, having seen those screenshots during the break, Michael, it's quite a change.
Yeah, definitely, and I can wait to get my hands on it.
For sure. Anyway, say no more. We've got Happy D with enough of a gap at the moment. Isaac Price not in the slipstream enough to affect a pass into turn one on this particular lap.
Yeah, however, Suffer and Throw Alpha are in the battle right behind them.
Both two are Rex and Onifus, but that's no surprise. That's what they've been doing all evening. But here we go. Oh no, Sufor lifted off and allowed True Alpha through. That's the second time we've seen Sufor being a little bit more cautious than other drivers, not wanting to get into too much of a heated battle straight away, but that cannot be said for our race leaders. Happy D getting a bit defensive already against Isaac.
And still plenty of laps to go, so he will have a very difficult job to defend for this long, especially with the possibility of Isaac Price undercutting PD. PD is trying to zigzag to break the toe, but I think Isaac Price will sensibly wait for the oval part to make impression. He's as close as it can get.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself. We are due a lead change. It might not be a change into turn one, but it will certainly be a change at some point on the oval, you would expect, as Happy D leads Isaac Price and will register another lap in the lead just. That was close, but Isaac is through for now.
No, Happy D has to hold the outside line, but it's unlikely that he would make that mistake.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was opportunistic, but Isaac Price really had the more favorable line through the turn and keeps the lead.
Yeah, Matty and Elcor go off. Well, Elcor goes off at the very least. Oh, no, sorry, Matty goes off in pursuit. So those two switching places. As Isaac now tries to open that gap over Happy D. And will want to stretch his advantage for sure. As we will be a fifth of the way through this race at the end of this lap. 20% complete.
Yeah, and halfway through the evening in terms of laps.
Yes, exactly. So we've got it all to enjoy again over this longer, more drawn out, almost an endurance, almost a return to what actually happens on the other 3 races of each month in Fox Friday, Michael.
Yeah,
Which is
absolutely.
a sort of an endurance length race. But this is a lot of driving for the drivers for a Friday evening at the end of what I'm sure has been a long year for most people. Lots and lots of racing, lots of concentration.
Yeah, the best way to celebrate the 750th event is with massive self-torture.
Exactly. Mind you, torture is a strong word because Kyoto National Reversed is a favourite of many people here.
That
Hard
might,
not to enjoy this track.
yeah, that might be true, but try to stay focused for so long.
No, that's why we're here. That's why we're here and not driving in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've lost focus multiple times this evening already. The drivers can't afford to do that once in this race if they want to score a good result. Of course, this is basically just for bragging rights this round. Both championships are sealed up. The winner of this will have bragging rights as going in the history books as the winner of a special event in 2 regards, 3 regards if you want to be thorough about it. Winning the race that was the 750th milestone, winning the final race of the 2024 season milestone, and winning the race on the night where Kyoto was given. Well, we've been given the biggest hint that the graphics update to Live for Speed is alive and kicking, especially for Kyoto. Then you can count. You can take all 3. Take your pick or take them all. I'm sure Isaac would like to be that person. He's been around Live for Speed as long as most of us, and has proved his worth on many occasions in the past. And it's nice to see him in December of 2024 leading a race in Live for Speed.
Yeah, the good old times.
Exactly. What's a little bit more annoying is that way back when, during the Open Endurance Cup, Isaac dominated our team in a Fox around Kyoto National. Anyway, put a lap over us, I think, on that occasion. Back when I was a little bit less experienced, maybe, than I am now. I think that's fair to say. But anyway,
Can't blame him.
no, I'm not. Well, it would be more than a lap down now. That's for sure.
As we are now speaking about Roger Chen in the background in P6 is getting ever so closer to Suffer in P5, which might be another close battle in a lap or 2. Not a striking distance, but the gap is definitely closing.
Well spotted. What do you make of Sufor's performance this season, Michael? As a relative newcomer?
Yeah, as for essentially newcomer, he's made very impressive results, especially here in Fox Friday leagues. I didn't have many opportunities to race him directly, but I recall from this broadcast that he's very strong for the less experienced driver here on the grid. So I think he's doing really well for what he has in the hands.
Yeah, I think he's definitely still at the phase where he needs more experience, more race experience, more varied race experiences. He's joining lots and lots of series to try and improve his craft, and it seems to be working out. Let's see what the result is at the end of today. There's a rather unfair adage that you're only as good as your last result, and I don't always agree with that. I think it's important to remember a driver's development and their history, and especially this year, Sufor has been certainly a driver that's making a mark and has some serious potential going into 2025. So keep an eye out for Sufor next year. Hopefully he chooses to participate in the series on offer, the many series that are going to be on offer in 2025. If I can throw a bit of a teaser in there, Michael, for what's coming next year?
Go ahead.
No, I'm not gonna say anything specifically. We have a few announcements coming up at the end of the year for that specifically, which we'll talk about at the end of the show. But yeah, be cool to see if Sufor can, take this in his stride and improve on it for 2025. But so far, so good, and a good, as far as I can tell, debut season as we switch to Happy D, who has been passed by Gabor and wants to get back past over start-finish.
Yeah, no, Gabor will make the pass back, but we'll have to make it around the outside.
Oh,
no, inside.
Happy D, what have you done?
I did not expect that.
No, I mean that's what we shouldn't really have done, because that's the third time we've seen drivers doing that. Just have a place, just in you come, through you come.
Anyway, the gap to True Alpha is big enough, so we can afford to let Gabor by and keep close. Isaac Price, in the meantime, has over 1 second advantage over Gabor now in P2, so yeah.
Well, it's been quite a year. This is our final broadcast for 2024, or final race broadcast anyway. And what a way to bring it to a close with an enormous amount of laps for Friday evening. But I'm not complaining, because we have had so far, Michael, 2 absolutely fantastic races. Action-packed from start to finish. The endurance races they kind of go hot and cold, don't they? You have this middle part of the race where everyone's just setting lap times, trying to get as consistent pace as possible, and then when the pit stop comes and the strategies of the drivers are revealed, we get a second wave of excitement. First wave of excitement came in the form of a top 15 reverse grid. It was Nando Alonso who started on pole position, caused some excitement in the commentary box with a 7 or 8 car group going into these corners here, but eventually Nando Alonso has retired from the race after getting beached at turn 2, unfortunately. But as it currently stands, we have 21 drivers remaining, showing you just what sort of a challenge this race is. Quite some attrition in this feature race, Michael.
Yeah, absolutely. Nando Alonso has completed the first to last challenge tonight. And in the meantime, Safar seems to be going very strong. He's still ahead of Rajichan, who had not yet any opportunity to even get alongside, let alone make a pass. So I think Safar is showing a really great consistency on a very high pace that even the likes of Rajichan are struggling to keep up.
Yeah, I want to talk about Roger Chen. We talked about Sufor. Roger Chen is a driver who has managed to stay independent for a large number of years. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with being an independent driver. But at some point, if you want to take your racing to the next level, it can help to join a team where there is knowledge within the team that can help you improve directly. There are things like setups and all sorts of other advantages. But Roger, sticking true to himself, I guess, has done this season again as an independent, and now goes to the outside of Sufor into turn 2. Oh, that could have been interesting.
Yeah, it was very close, but it shows that both drivers are quite experienced and managed to get away without any trouble.
I mean, we've had trouble tonight. We've had some banging of wheels and coming together, but on the whole, the driving has been the cleanest of the year. If you ignore sort of halfway down the grid back at the beginning of each race, we've had plenty of carnage, but the drivers that are pushing each other wheel to wheel at the front have been doing just that. They have been on the absolute limit of adhesion, and doing an amazing job about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of Roger being teamless for a very long time, do you think it's time to invite him to sim broadcasts?
I mean, in what capacity? What are you planning?
I don't know. I just know that there aren't many sim broadcast racers attending the events, so we
Well, yeah.
might
I
use
mean,
him.
it's because none of our commentary team can necessarily compete these days, whether that be the physical possibility or the I don't know, availability. I'm not sure, but yeah, well, sure. I mean, why not? Maybe it's something we can consider. Growing our racing division, but I don't know.
Yeah, if you saw the steering wheel, you can still race on the mouse, so that's no excuse.
I've tried it; it doesn't work so well. It's not only is it less enjoyable because I'm terrible. Actually, I think that is actually the only reason. I don't know whether Roger would even want to give up his independence because, like I said, he's been like that for a long time. As long as I've known of him, I don't think he's ever been in a team. Not that I can remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to recall, and I've never seen him with any specific team tag, so he might be independent from the very beginning.
Yeah, as the camera neatly switches to Isaac Price, who is masquerading as an independent, but we all know that he has many different hats and has had many different hats in LFS and indeed other championships and series, and in fact simulators, of course. And Isaac's driven for a lot of teams over the years, championship winning teams, very successful outfits indeed. Williams Esports, Inex, name but two, and many more along the way. And he leads the way onto lap 17 of 45. And he is a formidable character. He's had, as you said, Michael, he's had all evening to hone his skills and remaster Kyoto Ring National Reversed. And now he's showing the new kids what he's capable of. And that does include Gabor. I'm including him in that.
Yeah, Gabor's
He's
very
a new kid compared. Yeah.
With not that many team tags under his belt either.
No, Gabor is an extremely successful driver in his own right, but on a day when Isaac Price is here and has been given essentially 2 hours of practice, which isn't something Isaac gets all the time in LFS, going to be hard for anybody to beat Isaac. You're going to have to really dig deep. You're going to have to throw everything in the kitchen sink at Isaac to beat him now. While we're in the subject of reminiscing and thanking, let's take a look at some more action. Hapidi and Yoni.
Hapidi made a huge mistake in the final section of turns, and that allowed Yoni Katela to catch up. And apparently he's close enough to take advantage of the slipstream. Goes alongside. And let's see if he allows Hapidi to take the inside out. He doesn't, he has to go around the outside. Hapidi still holds the line. Buff isn't always on time. And is now behind, and it looks like the position is set. So that's third place for World Class Lions. True Alpha, aka Yoni Katela. And he's off to chase Gabor and ultimately Isaac Price for the race win. As Isaac is only 2 seconds away from Yoni, so everything is possible with more than, how many? 26 laps to go, 27.
Yeah, a long race. We still have pit stops that are road. We've still got strategy that needs to become apparent. Drivers almost certainly won't all have fueled to the maximum. It's inefficient to drag around a full tank of petrol. or in this case, virtual petrol.
Yeah, we are saving the planet.
Exactly. Well, not quite, but
Why not?
I don't know. I mean, has anyone actually done the maths? Is this less wasteful? I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is.
I'm sure it is, especially if the electric energy we are using is from
It's
nuclear
renewable.
facility.
Yeah, exactly. Renewable or yes, that. Anyway, here we go.
Team nuclear. When did we get political?
I was going to say, let's keep politics out of this. Not on the final race of the year. I don't want to upset anybody. As Happy D has to kind of fall back now and work out what to do. And we can tell that fastest lap of the race last time round, or the previous time. And our top three are almost, well, just over 2 seconds separating them after almost, well, we got almost, well, more than half an hour of racing. So really impressive. And this is what we love to see. The best at the game, the best at their game, pushing one another for the ultimate pace, the ultimate results. And Happy D, although he's been overtaken by Yoni, after half an hour of racing, he's still 2.6 seconds off the leader. That's impressive for your teammate there.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy D is one of the fastest drivers in our Master Race Cars team, and I'm rooting for him every time he's racing here. But I'm afraid that tonight he's not fast enough for the overall podium. But
presently, but you don't know what fuel he's got on board.
Yeah,
maybe he's got more on board. Maybe let's be optimistic about your teammate, Michael. Maybe he's got a trick up his sleeve yet.
I'm scared.
Skeptical or scared? Or both?
Maybe both.
Well, a vote of confidence there from Michael Málek to his teammate as we watch them all head through the first sector and over the sector line under the Chromo Bridge. He's still there. He's still in touching distance of Yoni Kazilla. There's many people that would love to be able to say that.
Yeah, and I think I figured out why is Happy D so fast tonight. And it's because in the chat before this race he mentioned that after the race he has to go, so he's trying to finish the race as soon as possible.
Fast as possible.
He can leave.
Exactly. He's motivated to get out. It's Christmas, right? He's got to get away.
New speedrunning strategy revealed.
There's motivation. Got to finish the race as quickly as possible because you've got other obligations. I think the only other obligations I've got are eating food at this point.
That's a fantastic obligation.
It is. It's that time of the year. Oh, and look at that. As if by magic, Happy D is going to provide us with some... Oh, Yoni's opened the door. I mean, why not? You can get the slipstream back. But yeah, these two can work together now. Happy D, clearly, he's got something. He's got some pace under him. And it could help Yoni to close up the gap to Gabor. It could also hinder him, of course. And Gabba now only 0.6 off the back of Isaac. That gap is also closing down, Michael.
Yeah, so far these four are very close to each other, and True Alpha allows Happy D to take the inside line, my apologies, and even lift it into the braking zone, so it looks like they are trying to cooperate to some extent.
Well, I'm glad I remained impartial and said that it could be possible that Happy D regained the place. You seem very dismissive of your teammate. And look where that got you.
I stand corrected.
Need more faith in your drivers. They can surprise you.
At least it can be said that we definitely have better drivers than I am, so it's good to have faith in someone else. now Truafa will be in a striking distance to Happy again, so they may again switch the places 3 times before settling down.
Don't know if he's close enough coming out of the final corner. That would appear to be quite a big gap.
Yeah, and in the chat, Truafa is telling Happy to go, so...
Oh, there we go.
I assume that the gap is too big and he wants Happy to keep pushing.
Yeah, the gap between our race leaders went up by 1/100th of a second on the previous lap, so that is as equal pace as as it's almost possible to be between those two. As Isaac leads this race on lap 22, at the end of this lap, well, in fact, halfway through the next lap, we'll be halfway through the race. We're getting there, the laps are going down. But the gaps are also coming down. The gap went up slowly there, but it's promising. It looks like we're going to get some concertina effects happening, and some battles are going to come back alive. One might come alive sooner than Roger Chen might like. Anifus is closing him down here. We've got Payson and Alcor going side by side into turn 2, and there's contact just as we cut to it. Alcor behind Al there, and Al's lost a place to his teammate. Finn UK goes through. Alcor's going to have to defend from Pit Pulga now, and Pit Pulga goes to the inside into turn 5, and he's through. The real story here is Roger Chen has lost a lot of time, Michael. He's 9 seconds off the lead now, so the pace has gone away from that car.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where the issue could be, other than tires are getting a little bit cold, but I don't see any mechanical damage or anything that would be sufficient explanation for the lack of pace he's having right now. So hard to tell. Maybe he's just running a lot of fuel as it takes him wide and will be overtaken by Onifus probably. Doesn't seem so. No, but definitely lost time and has now dirty tires that have less grip, which allows Onifus and also Suffer to catch up. And his P5 as of now is under pressure. Onifus goes into the inside and still there. Yeah, both drivers leaving enough room to each other, and it allows Suffer to get ever so closer. So we might have a 3-way battle for P5, 6, 7, I believe.
Yeah, this is exactly what we want. That's what we came here for. The battles will come back as the race wears on and drivers start to show cracks, or the strategy starts to unfold, or the pace starts to drop off. As we mentioned, Michael, it's a lot of driving.
Yeah, definitely.
We're 2 hours and 4 minutes into tonight's event, and we are only just over halfway through the feature race. So that's an enormous amount of concentration.
Yeah, I'm getting tired, and I'm not even driving, so...
We have to give this job a fair amount of concentration, although we didn't give it enough because Johnny's got back past Happy D again. Not sure what happened there, but it happened in turn 1, or turn 2, sorry. But anyway, that's fine. Happy D can recover from there. You allowed a couple of mistakes, but beyond that, Johnny will not be as obliging when offering you track position. Similarly, the gap to Gabba, and the gap between Gabba and Isaac is 6/10 now, so it's come down again a little bit.
Yeah, and in the back, Fragmaster Rex has retired from the race, so that's one Carlos on the track.
That's a big name to have lost, a driver that has provided an exciting few races this season and last season. One of the only drivers to have beaten Gabba on multiple occasions when Gabba's been on form at the front. So there aren't many drivers that can say they can do that. But Rex has proven it on more than one occasion this year.
Gabor gets a fastest lap as of now.
And there we go, 6/10 again, but that's tiny margins between our two at the front. Tiny margins between P2, 3 and 4. And Happy D is throwing everything at this. I'm amazed. It's brilliant. Determination to keep up with Diony here is incredible.
Yeah, the real question is who is carrying more fuel, which will be very important towards the end of the race, as here in the first speed is usually more beneficial to overcut rather than undercut your opponent. So whoever can keep the same pace with more fuel should have the advantage.
Yeah,
as the tire life allows.
Well, less time in the pit lane, of course. Less time refueling. Let's see. Oh, Yoni Catilla gets the rear of the car out onto the grass before turning in. That unsettled him through the final chicane, but not enough for Happy D to take an advantage. So in some ways it looked lucky, but I'm sure he had everything planned the way he wanted it to be. As the car's round oval turn 3, this is Roger Chen that we're getting our long lens out for, apparently, with Boniface sort of dropping back a bit now. Boniface looked to be making quite big gains on Roger Chen. That gap has opened up again.
In the meantime, Isaac Price has responded to the fastest lap of Gabor by doing fastest lap himself, and extends the gap between them by a few hundredths of a second again.
But realistically, that is not a gap. There is nothing between them lap to lap. As Michael said, 1 or 2 or 3 hundredths, and that's it. They are, for all intents and purposes, on exactly the same pace. And so are these two now. This is really good. These two pairs are pushing each other very, very hard, and they're still only separated by 4 seconds after 26 laps of racing. UK.
Yeah, in battle with Pitpulga on the outside, but didn't have much opportunity to take advantage of that position. But the UK's line is very compromised, so that allows Pitpulga to pull alongside. And now it will be a matter of who will be brake later into the next turn, which goes on the Finucase's hand. And looks like he's able to keep the position, but Pitpulga, as long as he stays in the striking distance, he should be able to capitalize on the oval section, if not even earlier. Pulling alongside to the left side, will be outside of next turn. Can he do the switchback? Not so much, but definitely will be in the slipstream of this shorter straight. And if he's brave on brakes, he could capitalize on that.
Yeah, goes defensive. Feels as though he has to pull to the inside as not to give Pitpulga any room, but that's going to definitely have compromised his line here. Pitpulga will have a good slipstream. And surely Finucane will defend. Yes, he does. I say surely. There are a lot of drivers that have just not defended tonight. Unusual. Maybe everyone's feeling particularly friendly or in a giving mood.
Yeah, and here it is clear that Pitpulga is carrying way more downforce because as soon as he gets out of the draft, he loses the speed instantly and can't even get alongside, let alone past Finn UK.
Well, Finn UK was on the outside line pulling away around oval turn 1. So, that was a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, and Alpizon is in the mix, hitting the rear of Pitbull unintentionally.
Yeah, misjudged the length of his car or pulled out a little bit too late. And Pitbull immediately pushed forwards into Finn UK again. Oh, but a bit too close turning into Parabolica. And you saw the effects of Pitbull washing quite far wide. Back in the slipstream once again.
Yeah, Pitbull is really strong in this infield section, but as soon as they get into the high-speed section of oval, he's really struggling. And I think it will be very difficult for him to make the pass on Finn UK. Let's see how well it goes for him.
Oh, it's a good exit. But we know that Finn UK will defend it again. And Pitbull needs to go around the outside. In fact, he just needs to stay in the slipstream and do him into turn 1. He should have learnt that from the previous lap. Finn UK has better, or rather lower downforce for the oval section. It explains why Pitbull is able to keep up through the infield. In fact, he's got good overspeed here, but is it going to be enough? I don't know if it is. I think Finn UK is perfectly happy just to hold it on the outside. And will now cut back in, and this will be an easy overtake again for Finn.
Yeah, Pitbull's speed disadvantage is so strong that Finn UK doesn't even have to try that hard. He's
overshot it though.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he had, but no, it was actually as easy as it should have been. Pitbull out, higher downforce, should be able to get him back again. So this is a track of compromise. You have to compromise your setup, Michael. It might be amazing on the infield, but it's going to be dog slow on the oval, and vice versa. Yeah. Oh, forcing the gap there.
Yeah, it was very close.
Yeah, I mean, another thing, going back to this section of the track, I can't tell from the new screenshots whether it actually is tighter on the infield, because from some angles it looks tighter than the chicane looks tighter, and in others it looks the same or not much different. I need to spend longer studying it, or maybe use Chris's comparisons that he put on the forum.
It was very late dive, but
yeah,
for some reason Finn UK manages to stay ahead. They go side by side. No,
but we're gonna get a carbon copy repeat once again, or are we actually? No, Pitbull's had a very bad exit, and well, that's game over. I don't think we'll see him get close on the oval because of the slips, because of the downforce. So potentially they're now pacing. Can have a go. Yeah, what his setup is.
Happy in the meantime has been into the pit lane, so that's one of the top runners that made the mandatory element.
Yeah, only 2 drivers further down the grid have not stopped, Matti and El Nano. So Happy D currently leading the drivers who have made a pit stop with a comfortable buffer, a very comfortable buffer. So at worst, Happy D would like to finish in P7. He'd like a podium, but that means that essentially what we've seen here, Michael, is that Happy D was almost certainly running less fuel at the start of the race, and will now be losing time to drivers with even less fuel than he has.
Yeah, that might be definitely the case. And let's see for how much longer Yannick can stay on the track.
Happy D's going in the pit lane again. Did he miss fuel? Did he not put enough in, or did he not put any in at all? Well, if the race was going to go wrong, that is confirmation that for Happy D something has definitely gone wrong. Maybe he has to go. We had a penalty. He had a penalty, so he has to serve that now. Speeding in the pit lane. So a drive-through penalty for Happy D. That's a big shame. That costs you an awful lot of time. And he drops back down to 2nd place on our list of drivers that have already stopped. Puts him just behind Strutter. And, well, I spoke too soon. I gave him 7th place. And it looks like it's 10th at best. Or 10th at worst, rather. unless he
Yeah.
makes another mistake and I've jinxed him again. I'll
Yeah,
stop saying anything about where he's going to finish.
Yeah,
for now.
looks like my confidence was right after all.
Commentator's curse. Well, actually, no, I think he got the penalty before I said anything. So I won't claim that one as commentator's curse, but here we go. This looks fun. This is Isaac Price and Gabber into the pit lane at the same time. Gabber, so late on the brakes, I thought he'd absolutely ruined that. But they are nose to tail, absolutely nothing between them. And, whoa, 0.04 difference, and it looked like Isaac had the better stop. So as close as you like. Isaac having to go around Gabber taking the shortcut behind the pit box. And, well, they come out basically, Michael, exactly the same as they went in. The gap is unchanged, or maybe Isaac has a slight advantage. But Gabber's pit entry looked insane. It was so good.
Yeah, they had equally long pit stop, so they are on the same strategy, and now Gabor has to do all he can to overtake Isaac finally. He still has 15 laps to do so plenty of opportunities.
Well, we're being treated to some absolutely epic examples of racecraft and strategy here tonight. Gabber and Isaac Price coming in on exactly the same lap for their mandatory pit stop, both taking very similar amounts of fuel. Isaac Price taking 400ths of a second less, 400ths of a second less time than Gabber to complete his pit stop.
Yeah, no, Gabor is really in the striking distance.
But a bit of a twitch out of the chicane. I think. Even with that little twitch, he could be in range. This could be an opportunity. Although I think Isaac might just be out of reach. That is as close as it gets to not being in reach. But let's see if that Sidus car gets bigger from the gearbox cam on the back of Isaac Price's Formula XR, and it doesn't look like it is. I think Gabber must be teetering on the absolute edge of Isaac Price's slipstream, but just not close enough to get up to the rear end as they head on to lap 32. We have 13 laps to go at the end of this one, as we've got another two cars that were within slipstreaming distance, and Pit Pulgar with his high downforce has emerged from the slipstream on Fin UK and will be repassed again. We know this story. We've seen this script a few times, Michael.
Yeah, this is a very known scenario, and let's see if Pulgar can at least get alongside into the braking zone where he could have advantage.
Well, Pit Pulgar's only hope now is to get ahead and pull away in the infield. That's the only chance that he has. He's an absolute sitting duck on the oval. Doesn't have the downforce, or has too much downforce to pull away on the oval, so has to do it in the infield, which means that if he gets the opportunity to be ahead of Fin UK at this point, or maybe even earlier than this on a future lap, he might stand half a chance. But at the moment, he is not in the position he needs to be. Even though Fin UK will be at a disadvantage on the infield, he has track position, and even there, Fin UK's car is better placed on the inside line.
Yeah, it's great to see these two different philosophies of car setup battling each other and being both weak and strong in different parts of the circuit.
Yeah, let's see if Pit Pulgar can be brave on the brakes. He should. Actually, Fin UK defends and rinse and repeat. They'll do the same thing again. I'm slightly surprised that Pit Pulgar even managed to catch up. Must have been a mistake, or a particularly strong infield for Pit Pulgar at some point on a previous lap. But again, he needs to be a little bit more canny to get the position into turn 2. If he can get the position into turn 2, he stands half a chance of opening the gap on the infield. but even then, it's not a guarantee that he'll have enough of a gap for Finn not to just drive up to the back of him again. Wing to the inside. Get the inside line. No. Not happened again. And it's getting mighty close at the front once again, Michael. Let's see if Gabba can get a slipstream. Nope. Just a little bit too far back once again. Out onto the oval.
Yeah, so far not in the striking distance for Gabor.
And that's a good thing for drivers like Happy D, who, if they stand any chance in this race, they need to... they can't have the race leaders drafting one another. Ideally, they need Isaac and Gabba to fight, but while they are apart, Happy D at least isn't at an obvious disadvantage, other than potentially carrying slightly more fuel, as Sufor goes to the pit lane. Oh, not Sufor, sorry, that was El Nano. Into pits. Here's Sufor in Sector 2, currently lapping in P4. And 12 seconds behind is this battle, for the overall lead.
In the meantime, Pitbull finally managed to get ahead of NUK, and seems like he's breaking away finally. But,
well, we talked about it, but we didn't see it, so that's a shame.
Yeah, but I think by the end of this wall section they will be neck and neck again. Let's see how quickly NUK can catch up. He's having speed advantage without even being in the draft, so... He's gaining. Oh, it was a very defensive move from Pitbull, but I think it's settled now that he managed to stay ahead before that braking zone. And now has whole infields to run away. And Onifus is into the pit lane. .6 seconds stop with only refueling. So far no one has done the tire swap, so it's safe to assume that the tires will last for those 45 laps. And Onifus will rejoin in 6th place as for now. There he goes.
Well, it's safe to assume, well, we can assume, whether it's safe or not will be determined at the end, but it, for anyone that's doing more than one pit stop, which should be no one, anyone that's out now has started the race with less fuel than drivers who have pitted. So Yoni Katilla, Roger Chen, and Sufor, as well as Matty, have not yet stopped and are driving around with fuel they had at the start of the race. So when Yoni Katilla comes across start finish now, it will be 10 laps to go in our feature race. And that means that he has driven 35 laps worth of fuel. So he started with a pretty full tank at the start of this race. And the gap to Isaac Price is 24 seconds. So potentially we've got a race on our hands here, Michael. Strategy has opened the door for some fun.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how these things will roll out.
Well, I do like it when there's a little bit of intrigue thrown in at the very end. As we mentioned before, the championships have been wrapped up. Those were decided long ago. But bragging rights for winning the finale and winning the 750th have yet to be awarded. And who are they going to be awarded to? The gap between Yoni Katilla and Isaac Price goes up again. So unless Yoni pulls to the inside, we're going to see potentially another lap where that gap increases. Not by a million miles, but every little helps. And it goes up again. 300ths of a second in the second sector for Yoni Katila. We'll see what it is at the third sector when Isaac Price gives us a lap time. It currently sits at 24.1, and Yoni Katila, there's confirmation. Fastest lap. The pace advantage swings to Yoni. And boy, oh boy, Michael, we could have a very real chance of a fight for the win.
Absolutely.
Well, we've already got a battle for the fight for the win, because the gap between Isaac Price and Gabber is still less than a second. So 0.25 faster, quarter of a second faster than Isaac Price that lap for Yoni. So yeah, I'd say it's game on. It's a three-way fight.
Yeah, that was a very strong pace difference over that one lap. Because Gabor is being unable to catch up to Isaac and is on a reasonable distance for all the time.
So yeah, going back to what you were saying before, Michael, you absolutely hit the nail on the head. With drivers who stay out longer, they put more energy through the tyres, but they can be rewarded at the end by a quirk in the LFS tyre physics.
Yeah, definitely.
A quirk which has actually become... I don't know. It's a quirk, and it's obviously not correct, but it happens in certain circumstances in real life, and it's predictable. So, does it make it bad? No.
I think the important thing here is that it's the same for everyone. So
Exactly.
As long as
It's predictable.
playing field is level, it's up to everyone.
Yeah. You're using just enough of the tyres that you get that advantage at the end is super hard to get right. But here we go. Happy D has served his drive-through after doing a mandatory pit stop, and now finds himself having to fight his way back through the grid, and is behind Fragmaster's Strutter currently into the oval. And well, he's got to try and find a way through. He's probably going to go to trying to find a way through on the inside through oval turn 1, I'd hope. Although Strutter goes defensive, has every right to do that. Just to keep the place for himself. Happy D's going to have to work very hard here, Michael, because we have a driver that is not afraid to defend.
Yeah,
Finally.
he was lining up for a very long time before he decided to pull alongside, and it was very close. And he's almost being pushed by Strutter and
oh my!
Almost runs wide, but it looks like he managed to overtake him in the end.
Wow!
It was a very interesting overtake.
That was fantastic. Super committed. We've got McGreo on Alnano through over start finish. Well, actually, the second set of start finish lines that we have here, rather confusingly. And it looks like Alnano is going to try around the outside on McGreo. And well, it hasn't worked. Oh, in fact, there was contact, and he's still trying to go around the outside, and it really hasn't worked. As we have two cars in the pit lane. We have Roger Chen and Yoni Katila. Has Yoni done enough, Michael? What is the state? Where is Isaac?
Isaac is right over the start finish line, so I think he will be ahead by the time he picks up the speed.
Yeah, it wasn't enough in the end. Yeah. It's going to be close, and there's still plenty of laps left on the board, but there you can see Isaac Price in the yellow has maybe a couple of car lengths ahead, and Gabor will go through as well. So we have got a fight on. Well, definitely for P2. Not sure about the lead. It's all going to come down to what happens to Isaac.
Yeah, probably just a case of very cold tires that after such a late pit stop to get even cooler, and the grip goes to away, essentially.
It goes to away, according to Michael Málek.
Yeah.
Away is a nice place. A lot of people go there. And we have the top three battle after 39 laps of racing. So super stuff.
Yeah, still 6 laps to go after this one. And I think that was everyone into the pit lane by this point, as even those who started with 100% of the fuel tank capacity would be gone by now.
Well, all the drivers are definitely getting their getting their money's worth tonight. We've been at this for 2.5 hours, and they're still going. But the lap counter is reaching its conclusion. I am beginning to flag, Michael, and I'm sure many of the drivers are as well. But let's keep the energy high. We have a lead battle that spans 1.68 seconds between 3 drivers. There is a largish gap between Gabba and Isaac, and Gabba has other things to worry about now other than just the pace of Isaac.
Yeah, it looks like Gabber has tires in a better temperature than Ionic Attila, so there's some advantage going Gabber's way, but otherwise the pace is pretty similar to both drivers.
Yeah, five laps to go at the end of this one. It's Isaac Price leading ahead of Gabba and Ionic Attila, your top 3. Roger Chen is currently in P4, with Onifus now in P5. Sufor P6. Happy D, after that drive-through, is back up to P7, so he has got that place back at least. Strutter, a little bit of a gap opening, 3.5 seconds now to Happy D in P8. Then it's Matty in P9, and Finu K is holding on to P10. We've got Pit Pulga in the pit lane, and I believe that is the last driver to owe us a stop. In fact, Pit Pulga's already been in once, so everyone stopped.
Pit Pulga has acquired the drive-through penalty as well.
Oh no. So he's got to go down the pit lane for a 3rd time. Well, that's unlucky. And well, it does look like the pendulum has swung, and it has swung in the favour of Isaac Price tonight, because he is comfortably in the lead. Gabor now has a supreme challenge in Catilla the Younger.
And Catilla the Younger is getting ever so closer to Gabor, but it's still not enough to make an impression. And he's really struggling now on the cold tires. Assuming those will survive the remaining 5 laps.
Yeah, we haven't talked about tyre life. I haven't been paying attention to it at all. Are we at risk of any tyres becoming uninflated?
Well, the tires are getting pretty thin, according to F9 menu, but I haven't seen a single driver changing them, so I assume everyone is confident that they can make the distance. As now Drova is getting very close to Gabor, definitely in the striking distance.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know if anybody did do a race simulation run. 45 laps around Kyoto 2 reverse takes an awful lot of time, as we have a fight for P2 side by side. Nothing to choose between them over start finish, but Yoni is through, and now we have a unique opportunity for these two to do what we hoped TJ and Isaac would do in race 1 and race 2, and work together to try and catch Isaac Price. The only way these two are going to have a chance of winning this race is if they work together. In fact, actually, Pit Pulga may have slightly helped them a little bit, but I think he did manage to get out of the way. But yeah, Yoni is through. Gabba has to stay with him. They have to use the oval to good effect, don't they, Michael?
Yeah, but they have only 3.5 laps to go.
It's enough.
That's yeah, but there's more than 1 second difference between Isaac and Yoni, so they really have to start pulling a lot to gain on him before they run out of laps.
It's enough. If the gap is if the gap is a slipstream and they have a slipstream, they can bridge that gap. A second is doable in the time they have left if they work together. They just have to make sure their infield is as fast as, if not slightly faster than, Isaac, which is the hard part. And Gabor's got it all wrong. He's nowhere out of the final chicane. Joni Katila has turned the wick up to, turned the dial up to 11. And can we see something special here? What can Joni bring this gap down to in the last 3 laps? 43 out of 45, and the gap's come down again. It's below a second, Michael.
Yeah, 9/10 of a second and 3 laps to go, so he has to take down at least 3/10 of a second every lap, which is very lot to ask for.
And he has to get past, so he's got to get within slipstream in 2 laps' time. That is the goal. If he's in the slipstream out of the final corner of the final lap, it could be enough to secure the win in the feature race and deny Isaac a win in any of the races this evening.
Yeah, only 100 of a second down in the first sector.
Yeah, but let's see where his car is stronger around this lap. Thanks everybody for sticking with us, because we might end up with a thriller here. Gabber's out of this one. He's not responding to the pace of Joni.
Yeah, and ahead of these two, there's one back marker, the Grotowin. So he may, but hopefully not, cause any hindrance to Isaac to slow him down. As he's catching him now into the oval section.
Well, let's see what happens here. This is absolutely unbelievable. The gap up a little bit there, as you said. But Isaac will have a little bit of a slipstream from a back marker here, and that probably, unless there is an incident that befalls Mr. Price, will be enough. 2 to go. It's a lot for Joni to do now, but I just want to say that's amazing. 45 laps of racing, and the top 3 within 2 seconds. You can't ask for more than that. That's top flight. Look at them, glued together. Over an hour they've been doing this now.
Gap is now to 7/10 of a second, but it's not enough.
Is not enough. 1.5 laps to go when they pass through this chicane. Now it's well past 11:30 in Central Europe. And the tiredness is surely setting in for some of these drivers now.
And commentators.
And commentators. 6.5 tenths. Late on the brakes for Joni. You can see the gap visibly reducing. Out of the final corner. And
one more lap to go.
Yeah, exactly. It's tantalisingly close, this. Joni and Isaac, old friends, old rivals. And it's happened again. It's Isaac versus Joni Katila. And it comes down to the final lap. Congratulations, Fragmasters. You're the real winners here tonight. Without you, we wouldn't be here for this milestone occasion. It's been another wonderful year of Fox Friday. A series that just continues to deliver time after time after time. So spectacular racing, excellent rivalries. It's so close, Michael. Oh, Joni, absolutely inch perfect. But is it enough?
57 hundredths of a second.
It's got to come down to that braking zone into the double left again. Joni took a lot of time out of Isaac. And if he can just get a whiff of a slipstream, might be enough. But Isaac's doing everything he needs to just now. He has track position, he has 2 decades of experience to call upon to defend if he needs to. And here we go then. It's visibly closer than it was last lap. But Michael, take these two to the line.
Yeah, unfortunately, this race isn't 2 laps longer than we need, and it looks like Isaac Price has it secured to win this major feature race of this 750th Fragmaster Fox Friday event, brought to you by Broadcast. And as we can see, Isaac Price is crossing the start-finish line now and winning this event with a True Alpha closely behind, followed by Gabor. It's the fastest lap for True Alpha, aka Johnny Catilla. Is 4th place coming for Roger Chen. 5th is Fragmaster's Onifus, fastest Fragmaster driver in this feature race, followed by Suffer in P6. Then in 7th place, who's gonna be? It's a battle between Strutter and Happy D, but so far Strutter is ahead, but will it stay like that over the line? It's side by side, but he beats Happy D. Actually, Happy D in 8th place takes the fastest lap of the race.
Well, that was amazing in the dying laps. Helpful bit of slipstream.
Yeah, then into P9, it's Mate right over the line now. And now we have FinUK battling with Murillo going side by side over the start-finish line. Who's gonna be there first? And they have the identical finish time, but FinUK has been the game recognizes FinUK to be first out of these two. Anyway, it's Murillo in P11 provisionally. 12th is El Nano, followed by Payson, Elcor, P15, Grothavin, 16 Spider-Man, and final place 2 laps down Pitpulga. So that's 17 finishers in this very long feature race.
Yeah, 75 laps of racing tonight. 1 lap for every 10 editions of the Fragmaster's Fox Friday series throughout its now 15-year history. Isaac Price wins. At least he can take that away this evening. What a race and what a drive from everyone, especially our top 3, who finished within 2 seconds of each other after more than an hour and 15 minutes of flat-out racing here at Kyoto National Reversed. You won't see that class of racing in many other places in LFS. Absolutely awesome for a Friday evening. So thanks once again to everyone involved. Isaac, Johnny Catilla and Gabagure, your top 3 in the feature race of round 49, the season finale of the 2024 season of Fragmaster's Fox Friday. Roger Chen, best of the rest. Onifus, Sufor, Strutter, Happy D, Matty and FinUK are your top 10, with Magrio, El Nano, Al Payson, El Cor, Grothavin, Spider-Man, Pitpulga, your 17 finishers, and unfortunately DNFs for Hachiroku, Rex, James CK, there in P20. And over on our second page, Cubs, Gabri, WhatsApp 2, Pantheo, Dark, Adam Badaruk, Nando Alonso, and Rocket. And Happy D takes the bragging rights for the fastest lap of that feature race, a 1:38.88 blistering pace, helped out by a final dash slipstream off of Strutter up to the line. But he had that fastest lap a couple of laps to the end. So credit where credit's due. Fair play to him. Michael, absolutely super, brilliant season. Been a joy commentating alongside you. And what are some of your thoughts of tonight and the year?
Yeah, it was a very fantastic event tonight. It was much longer than we are usually having here on Broadcast, but it was every second was great, and we had some fantastic battle from start to finish. 3 finishes actually, and I really enjoyed absolutely everything, and I'm looking forward to more broadcasts to be commentated with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the first time in 5 years, almost, well, coming up to 5 years, where we haven't had a single, we've actually got an empty calendar. We have a blank canvas for 2025, which is all going to be announced very, very soon. But yes, Michael, there is more commentary coming and some exciting news for the new year. not least the fact that we have the 751st edition of Fragmaster's Fox Friday occurring in 2025, hopefully, to push through to yet another set of milestones for what has been a cornerstone, really, of online racing in Live for Speed. There's not really going to be many people around that haven't heard of Fox Friday if they've played Live for Speed. And I've had my fair share of fun in Fox Friday. I've won a fair share of races, and I've enjoyed massively commentating on it for the last 2 years. So thanks very much for that, Michael. I think we have Al Payson joining us in the commentary box to say a few words. Al, congratulations on an amazing season and a fantastic format for this finale and the 750th Fox Friday. Say a few words.
Oh, you like that format, huh?
Well, I warmed to it.
It was quite different, wasn't it?
It was a good slice of everything.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice thing. Just to celebrate 750 of these, I can't believe it.
Yeah, massive milestone. I mean, yeah, like I said, you're the first through the wall. No other series in Live for Speed has done what you've done, and we're grateful, obviously, that there were 29 others that came to join us tonight.
Yeah, I put a lot of word out trying to get people to come out. I tried to get some old timers to come back, but oh well.
Yeah, it's a hard sell at the end of a long year, but you did well, and the racing, especially at the front in that final race, was amazing.
Well, I have to watch the replay because I was too busy, in my incredible amount of mediocrity.
Well, it's always great to have you here for us. Sorry, not for us. Al Payson. Sorry, I apologies for that. That's all right. That was a big mistake. But yeah, I was about to say that it's Fraz obviously is instrumental in the background, and was he there until the end, cheering on the guys? Oh,
absolutely. We love our Fraz. He's a good motivator.
Yeah, we were quite
keeps the team together too.
Exactly. Yeah, he's the glue that holds it together. We're hoping he might come and say a few words, but obviously we did have him yesterday for GTI Thursday. He's had a long year of that as well. But it's fantastic to have you guys still putting these together. And thanks again for having us along for the ride.
All right. Well, we will talk again. Thank you for guys, for doing these broadcasts. It's been great. I can't wait to watch the replay.
Well, you're in for a treat. We enjoyed this one, Michael. I think it's fair to say.
It was fantastic.
Excellent.
Well, thanks, Al, as ever, and we'll see you in 2025.
All right. Have a Merry Christmas and
you too.
Happy New Year.
All the best. Al Payson there for the Fragmasters team. Michael, any final words before we wrap this up?
Well, my final thoughts would be just that it was an awesome season with absolutely amazing streak of events. I would say that 750 Fridays in a row of just delivering racing like this, it's something incredible and probably unachieved in most of other racing simulations and games. So this is a really great product to be part of, and I'm looking forward to another season of this.
Yeah, I'd genuinely be interested to know if there is a longer running weekly championship anywhere in sim racing than Fox Friday.
I'm not aware of. So
exactly. So yeah, this is a milestone and one to celebrate. So thank you everybody for watching. We're going to leave you with that, and we'll cycle through those excellent Kyoto screenshots that we were provided with on the LFS website earlier this evening. If you've not seen them, then you're going to see them in a minute. And yeah, all that's left to say is thank you all very much for another year of racing LFS. We'll have some announcements coming up on our channel very, very soon to do with the new content that's coming next year and a certain special event that a lot of you have been looking forward to. But yeah, more on that in the coming days. Thank you very much, Michael. Thanks to everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time. Good night.
Good night.